Welcome back to Man Down Sports. As you can see from the thumbnail, we're going to start this episode talking about Golden State Warriors and Kevin Durant. I think this is I don't think I know. This is going to be based off what Gilbert Arenas, Rashad McCants, Brandon Jennings, Josiah, what they was talking about on Gill's Arena maybe a couple of days ago. And I wanted to get in here and talk about it, man, because this is one of the things that I always hear a lot be talked about, and there's a whole lot of different opinions about it. So I wanted to get in here and have this conversation. But this show is going to be jam packed, man. We got Kyrie Irving after we finish discussing Kevin Durant. We're gonna get into some Kyrie Irving talk. Of course, Anthony Edwards is in the news because he made some comments about the '90s and that era of basketball that kind of got a lot of people upset, including Zeke, Isaiah Thomas. And it says close, but I got a bonus segment I want to do it as well. So we won't close it there. So y'all get an extra bit on this episode. And of course, we'll open the phone lines up for calls. This is a live call-in show. Everybody that's entering in right now, make sure you hit the thumbs up button, hit the like button. The share button is powerful. If you know someone that might enjoy this live, go ahead and share that to them right now. If you got a Facebook group that allows you to share content to it, that's a sports group, share it there as well. You know what I mean? Do all of that stuff, man. That'll help us out. But definitely that thumbs up. Definitely y'all engaging. Also, let me know who in the house, man. I see Funky Town in here, so I got a moderator, so we can start. I usually don't like to start until I see moderators in here, but let me know where y'all from, man. If anybody in here new, and then we can go ahead and get started, man. But just make sure you definitely hit that like button. And then I'm gonna get started with that. What's up, Jeffrey? Also my man MK. Is it Mackie? Is that how you say your name? But you just got it MK or Mac? Is it Mackie? That's one of my dogs. Dwayne Dennis. That sounds like a new one. Dwayne Dennis, I don't think I seen you in the comment section before. Make sure you sub if you new. That's why Kevin Durant never won a championship on his own or without Steph Curry. Sure. We'll have a conversation about it. What does that mean though, Dwayne? The fact that Kevin Durant hasn't won without because Steph hasn't won without Golden State. Are we going to put the same burden on Steph to leave Golden State to win one to prove that he can win without Golden State in that system? Like the same thing that you're taxing Kevin Durant with. Okay, you won with Golden State, win without Golden State. Can Steph win without Golden State? Right. Matthew Palmer, what's up? I see you in there. Seattle in the house, what's up? Yeah, we're gonna have that conversation, man. It's gonna be good. Let's go ahead and get started. So Gil's Arena, and this clip is a little bit long. So I'll probably let it play for 2 minutes, pause it. We'll have a conversation, and I'll let the last 2 minutes play. And then we'll pause it, right? But I'm strolling through and I'm saying that they're having this conversation, and I thought it was good timing because I was just having this conversation with someone in the comment section, I think. And I think it's time that, the conversation be had. I've already done a video kind of like this because Isaiah Thomas was on Draymond Green's podcast probably about 3 months ago. And he said the same thing. He said, Kevin Durant actually stopped, he said he saved Golden State Warriors legacy as a team, not Steph, but the Warriors as a dynasty would probably not have happened if Kevin Durant didn't go over there. Right. And the reason why I believe that, and Isaiah probably believes that, and I think Draymond Green believes as well, because he admitted it on 2 occasions. The reason why I believe that is because I think there are certain stars and superstars who, I think is a ceiling that you reach. And I think for players like Mike, Bird, Magic, Kareem, those type of guys, Kobe, they're destined for multiple rings. Like they came to the league, it was almost like they was born and built for the NBA, and they're destined to get multiple rings. But then there's also other superstars is not destined for multiple rings, and those are the guys like Dirk. Even the guys who got there but didn't get rings, like Malone, you know, they got there twice. You know, if Michael Jordan wasn't the GOAT, they probably could get one, right? Hakeem is another guy, multiple. But some of these superstars are only destined for one ring. Dirk got one ring. Giannis has one ring. I don't think he'll get another one. Jokic has one ring. I don't think he'll get another one. But those Duncans, Birds, Magics, Kobe's, MJ's, those guys are something different, right? And I think LeBron and Steph Curry and Kevin Durant and Wade are those one ring. They're in the same category with Dirk. They're one ring superstars. The only reason why they got multiple is because they cheated the system and stacked the deck to get their rings. Kevin Durant was never supposed to go to the Warriors. If he doesn't go to the Warriors, I don't think Steph gets another ring. LeBron was not supposed to go to Miami to join with Wade. Wade had his one ring. He probably doesn't get another one if LeBron don't join the Miami Heat. And if LeBron don't join the Miami Heat, I mean, he might go his whole career trying to get rings like Dirk and then finally get one toward the end, right? Those are how I separate them, and you got to look at Durant, Wade, LeBron, and Steph a little different because they didn't follow the same blueprint the other guys was following. They cheated and they joined guys they were supposed to be competing against. Right. Then you got the other superstars like Barkley, Malone, Stockton, Carmelo Anthony, Patrick Ewing, who just can't, they can't get one at all. But they all superstars, but it's different tiers. Right. So we're confused right now with what tier LeBron, Steph, and KD and Wade are on because we're looking at their resume and they cheated their resume. They cheated and got some cheap rings by joining each other. And we're confusing them with a Kobe or Michael Jordan level player. But let's listen to how Gilbert Arenas talked about it.
No, I'm having a problem with narratives, and I think I put it in the group chat. We give credit to the people who stayed home, right? Right, and I was saying, Steph legacy, we get to use 4 championships, right, for his legacy. KD was part of 2 of those, but he don't get his credit for those 2, right? So we don't say, yeah, you get to cement your legacy because you have 2 rings. We say, oh, you left and you went over here. Well, you're giving him credit for the 2 that I helped him get.
Who's not giving him credit?
Everybody, nobody. Just like with Michael Jordan, Kobe, Bird, and they all get credit for the championships because they stayed home. Now, anybody who left to go get championships, you discredit them. But you don't discredit
the 2 that
you don't discredit for Jordan, people coming to him, those stars that left their teams. You just say Jordan got 6 championships.
I don't think it's a discredit, though. I just think
Dennis Rodman went there, helped them get 3. Ron Harper helped them get 3.
Harper.
Like you had people leaving their cities, stars leaving their cities, going there winning to help that star. So if a star wants to leave because no one's coming here and I want to go and team up and we win, how am I getting discredited because I left?
Because you was a king.
It don't matter.
It do matter.
You're not a king no more. You actually demoted yourself to go over here and be a part of somebody else's shit.
So that's the thing.
Stop. That's the first point that I really like that Rashad McCants said. So Gilbert Arenas is being honest, and he's using this situation of Steph, KD, and the Golden State Warriors, and he's being honest. But the sneak part is if he could pull this off with honesty about Kevin Durant and Steph, you see how he's trying to sneak in the fact that it's okay for what LeBron did, right? He's trying to sneak that part in because, oh, you went here and got a ring and you're trying, Don't try to in the back door sneak in this LeBron James narrative. And it got nipped in the bud real quick with Rashad McCants because he said, because you were a king and you left your kingdom. Now, here's the thing. You can bring in any example in the 90s of some player. I mean, I see someone talking about Shaq and Kobe or Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. All right. Indeed, those are two superstars on the team. Right. Definitely Shaq and Kobe were superstars. Definitely Michael Jordan was a superstar. It could be debatable whether Pippen was a superstar or not, but I say he's a superstar, right? He was top 10 player easily while he was in the league, right? So let's say he's a superstar. But it's a difference between a king and a soldier, right? Kings are superstars who, with personality, with game, with endurance, with durability, with long suffering, with mental toughness, physical toughness. Those guys are the ones who put the team and the franchise on their shoulder. Those are the kings. Those are the ones who run the kingdom. The Chicago Bulls, I don't care what superstar was on there, Pippen or whoever the case may be, it was really only Pippen. That was only superstar other than Jordan. But it was obviously Michael Jordan's team. He was the king of that kingdom. Pippen was one of his soldiers, right? With Shaq and Kobe, Shaq was the king, but Kobe knew he was a king as well, but no one was going to see him as a king unless he could prove he was a king. So Kobe, when their contract was up after they got their 3 rings and after they lost that 4th finals to Detroit, Kobe was like, I'm leaving LA so I can have my own team, my own kingdom, and I can show people and show the world that I'm too cut from the same cloth like Michael Jordan. I don't want to be Shaq's sidekick because that's going to be what my career is going to be like when it's all said and done. They're going to look at me like a Scottie Pippen. And I'm not a Scottie Pippen. I want my own kingdom, right? But Jerry West was smart enough to say, no, young fella, we're going to let the big guy go. We're keeping you. And then he was able to prove that he was also a king. And now that's why we can see him in the same light as Michael Jordan. If he stayed with Shaq, that wouldn't have happened. So he did the opposite of what LeBron, Kevin Durant, and Steph Curry and them did. He came in and got drafted with a king and said, I want to separate from him so I can prove to y'all who I really am. LeBron got drafted, had his own kingdom in his own hometown, got to the finals, couldn't get it done, and decided that he wanted to go to Miami and join Wade's kingdom, Wade County, and all of that stuff. In what medieval time world do you see a king not be able to run his kingdom, leaves his kingdom, and go partner up with another king? In what world do you see a king invite another king to his kingdom and get off of his throne? This is what Steph Curry did. Get off of his throne and let Kevin Durant sit in there because he was a better king. You can't sit here and watch that and then turn around and say, well, Kevin Durant is lame for leaving his kingdom to go to Steph kingdom, and then just totally dissolve Steph Curry for allowing that to happen, and totally dissolve Dwayne Wade for letting LeBron come do the same thing. They're all 4 in the same boat. They all 4 stacked the deck. They all 4 not cut. They, like Rashad McCants said, you forfeited being a king. You stood it to a different level and forfeited being a king. You're not cut from Kobe's or Michael's cloth. They would have never done that. Kobe wanted to get away from Shaq. He didn't run to another king. He didn't run to Shaq. He said, get me away from him. It's a totally different mindset. Let me prove to y'all who I am. LeBron and Steph and KD was like, look, let me take an easier route to a ring, because as soon as I get that ring, now y'all can talk about me like I'm Jordan or Kobe. But y'all didn't want to take the same path that Jordan or Kobe took.
Yes. Does the king get demoted if he screams for help?
No.
I lost Horace Grant. Can you give me somebody? Oh, yeah, we got Dennis Rodman for you.
No. You don't get demoted.
My thing was
Doesn't make
the whole thing was I think that what made people that left the sour taste in people's mouth was the fact that that was the team that they just played.
Yes.
With right.
And you lost.
KD.
And you lost.
But they were up though.
3-1 lead.
Then 3-1. I think that was the thing that did it. If they didn't play them in the playoffs and him going there,
it'd have been fine.
It wouldn't have been a big of a deal. But the fact that they played them, lost to them, they're like, fuck, you can't beat them, then we might as well join them.
Okay, but now the reality is, how come that group,
he gets credit for,
how come the group itself
don't
have no one talks about Golden State losing to LeBron, then adding Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
No one looks at it that way.
Yeah.
You lost to LeBron James.
Yeah.
3-1,
Yeah.
same shit,
Yeah.
3-1,
Yeah.
and then you ask for, Kevin, can you come help us?
Yeah.
No one
asked for him?
Yes, Draymond, they called Kevin Durant.
I think it was a mutual decision.
No, they called.
I know they called, but he wanted to listen.
Come on.
No, he
We
wanted,
need you.
No, but he wanted out.
Yeah.
He was leaving.
Mm-hmm.
They called. It was like, come on, it's like when you ain't married, you got a girlfriend, you get that text message from you. You like, hey, what you doing? Hey, big head, what you gonna hey, boo, what you gonna do? Yeah, it's like that. You on the fence about some shit. You going, hey man, you gonna die for you gonna
the Hampton Five, right? You know they pulled up on KD in the Hamptons with that crew.
But that's what I'm saying. How are you 70? How do you go 73-9, lose 3-1? Bring on the number one scorer
because it's
and
easy.
the number 2 player in the NBA. You bring them on your team, and nobody looks at y'all.
Because it's easier to point a shot at him than it is them. Right? It's easier to pick him out than the group because they have a really likable guy over here.
And that's a good point. Steph is more likable. Kevin Durant ruffled the feathers of a lot of media members. You know, he does a lot of things. He talks back to the media, especially when they saying stuff and not citing their sources, and they be lying about a lot of things. Like he called a lot of people out. Chris Broussard, Stephen A. Smith. He called Kendrick Perkins. He called a lot of them out in the media. These are the people who get to write the story on your legacy. They get they're the scribes, whether they're writing a story or they're talking about it on these debate shows or whatever show they're talking about. They're the ones who get to speak your legacy in a certain light. KD is not as likable. Steph Curry is a very likable guy, right? It's easy for them to come and dissolve Steph for what he did and act like it was nothing and come up with some type of narrative to make it fine. Like, oh, he won without KD, but KD didn't win without him, right? Well, tell Steph Curry to leave Golden State and win without Golden State, and we'll see how they go. But this comment is on the screen. If KD didn't go to Golden State, the Rockets would have won the championship in 17 and 18. Only team that could compete with the Warriors. It's very true. They took him to 7 games. CP3 tearing his thigh up, kind of messed him up. However, I go a step further with this because if he doesn't go to Golden State, he's still leaving OKC. He didn't want to play in that system anymore. There was changing that system over for Westbrook to have the ball in his hand. They wanted him 70% of the time the ball was going to be in Westbrook's hand. Like Kevin Durant was frustrated. Skip Bayless is an OKC fan. I think he's from Oklahoma. He was frustrated. Like, why is KD taking less shots than Westbrook and Westbrook can't shoot? And he's the point guard. Like, it was getting that bad because I think that year Kevin Durant was hurt. Westbrook had a very good year, and they saying that, oh man, we got something with this dude. He might actually be a superstar. So when Kevin Durant came back, they didn't really know how to mesh that, and you couldn't put that toothpaste back in the tube. It was kind of like Boston when Gordon Hayward and Kyrie Irving got hurt that season and came back the next year. By that time, Rozier, Marcus Smart, Morris Twin, Al Horford, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum all had balled out and got to the conference finals. How do you tell them one of them got to go back to the bench? How do you tell them, yeah, Taco Master, we live. How do we tell them that you getting half your shots because this injured Gordon Hayward is coming back playing your same position. Like that's a tough thing. So Westbrook wasn't navigating that well. The front office, the coaching staff wasn't navigating it well, and they didn't look at Kevin Durant and see how great of a talent they had. And I guess they felt like because he was such an easygoing guy mentally that, yeah, we'd rather give, Westbrook the shots that he want and make KD mad than versus making Westbrook mad. So my point is Kevin Durant was leaving OKC anyway. So who could have afforded him? And I actually think he probably would have went to the Rockets. He knew James Harden already. I think he would have went out there and played with James Harden. Right? So if he leaves OKC and goes to the Rockets, you might be right about that. The Rockets do get that championship, in my opinion. I think they get that championship. But if he stayed at OKC and they just added another piece to OKC might have got that championship. I mean, they had him down 3-1 the year before, so that's a huge possibility.
I think
Right.
it's just
That's
that KD.
why I say it's the narrative.
KD was the king. KD was the king of OKC. And no matter what happens inside of my kingdom, I'm not leaving my post. I'm not leaving my post.
Yeah.
So the fact that he was like, you know what? This motherfucker's burning down. Let me pack my shit. And I'm going over here with them.
It wasn't burning down.
It is burning down. You up 3-1.
No, but it wasn't.
You lose.
No, but it wasn't burning down at that point. No.
Okay, then the team he goes to, they lost 3-1 and asked for help.
It wasn't burning down.
So he goes over here
It was you
because
felt that you a king and you got a motherfucker over there kicking your back in,
trying
right?
to be a king too. And as soon as you leave, he's like, now it's my shit.
But how do you?
But then I go over here with the.
And you got to play fiddle.
No,
But who's
he was
playing?
the man?
But
though.
what I'm saying is,
that was Kevin Durant's team.
But Steph is still the king.
It was definitely
how
Kevin
are you-
Durant's
but
team.
That's what I'm saying. How are you giving credit to the people that's asking for help? Also,
Steph was the king's hand.
Steph
right? You
wasn't
got
asking for
they
help.
got beat.
We
by,
just went 73 and 9. I'm not asking for nothing.
7-3 and 9. You lost to the real king, and then you guys need help.
This is a fact. They went. First of all, let's talk about this 73 and 9 team. This 73 and 9 team, they call it the best team in the NBA history. And that's 2 seasons. That's the regular season. It's really 3 seasons: preseason, regular season, postseason. Right? The regular season and the postseason count. Preseason don't. So let's just talk about the 2 seasons that count. The regular season counts. The regular season is when Golden State got 73 wins out of 82, which is the most wins in history. But the ultimate test, because what you're doing in the regular season is you're building your team chemistry, you're building your team, you're getting small little tests here and there, because most of the times you're playing non-playoff teams, you're playing some playoff teams that don't got no business being in the playoffs, and you blow them out. And then every now and then you'll play a contender, right? That's your first test, just to measure yourself. Let's see how we work against this contender. Then you play some more bad teams, and then you got another contender. Okay, let's measure ourselves. So by the time you get to the playoffs, you've played enough contenders to kind of measure yourself to see where you're at as a team. And you've had 82 games to build something up. But the real test starts in the playoffs. That's the real test. That's where players prove they're superstars. That's where players prove a lot of things. The playoff is the real test. So 73 games that you win in the playoffs, in the regular season is cool. You only lost 9 games. But in the postseason, you lost about 10 games. In the round, you lost 3 against OKC. You was down 3-1. You lost 4 in the championship because you lost the championship. That's 7 games. And you still had 3 other rounds. And I ain't even pull it up. But they at least lost 10 games. I know they lost 10 games. That's more than they lost in the regular season. They lost more playoff games than they did in the regular season. So that team don't sound like the best team or the greatest team ever to me, right? The greatest team ever don't come and go grab the first or second best player in free agency. The best player in the league went to a 73-9 team, right? Right. It was a different team because they lost most of their bench. So it was a different team he went to. But if you're 73-9, your mentality should be, we came to the finals, we lost, we blew a 3-1 lead, we should have won, we was the favorites. Let's come back stronger and beat everybody and get and go back and get what's rightfully ours. Not let's go get another king. That was the mentality of Golden State front office. That was the mentality of the core three and their leader, Steph Curry. Go get another leader that's going to lead us to promised land, because we can't beat that big monster wearing number 23 in Cleveland. Not when his co-stars are healthy. That was Steph mentality. And this is the guy that we want to act like he didn't cower up to go get Kevin Durant. And we want to put all the blame on Kevin Durant and act like they didn't both do the same offense. It wasn't even accomplice to the crime. Steph did the crime. They both took turns putting bullets in them. It wasn't one of those, I pulled the trigger and you sat there and watched and we both go to jail and you're accomplished. No, they both took turns. One of them beat him with a bat. The other one put the bullet in him. Y'all both going, if the same crime, y'all just did it a different way. Same crime, you did it a different way, right? So this is the best team ever. No, you're not the best team ever. The Lakers went in the playoffs and their final test, they went undefeated all the way to the finals. They lost the first game of the finals to Philadelphia when Iverson just went nuts, and then they went and won 4 straight. They lost one game in the finals, one game in the entire playoffs, right? And then before the playoffs, I think they was on an 8-0 run and end the regular season. So they came into the playoffs hot, ready for that final test. That's, to me, I equate what you did in the playoffs heavier than what you did in the regular season. So I wouldn't even measure the best team ever based on just the regular season, and that's it. You got to measure the playoffs as well. And losing 10 games in the playoffs is not best team ever material, especially when you got a Laker team who only lost 1 game. And then you got a Bulls team who won 72 games, and then they went all the way and won the finals, and they never touched the game 7. It's been 77 championships in the NBA, and I will put all 77 of those championship teams in front of the Golden State Warriors team. Golden State Warriors would be probably the first team that didn't win a championship in my ranking. I wouldn't rank them. They would be ranked number 78 out of all the best teams. You didn't even finish the job, and you freaking lost 10 games in the playoffs. And then you go try to blame blowing a 3-1 lead on Draymond getting suspended for 1 game. You played 7. You played 7 games. That's why you needed Kevin Durant. The last thing I say before I open the phone lines up, the sad part about this whole Kevin Durant joining the Warriors and helping them get 2 rings and helping revive their legacy or save their legacy and revive their dynasty that they was trying to build. Everyone was elevated based on what Kevin Durant helped them do. Kevin Durant is the only person in that whole situation who got downgraded. Kevin Durant didn't gain anything by Golden State. Steph Curry gained everything. They credit him for 4 rings, even though he couldn't even get daggone Finals MVP in none of his joints. It took him to the 4th ring to get Finals MVP. Kevin Durant and Iguodala got him, right? But Steph Curry get elevated to they saying he better than Magic. Right? You couldn't watch Steph Curry play and say that's the best point guard I've ever seen, but you'll use his rings to elevate him. No one uses Kevin Durant's rings to elevate him. The only thing that elevate Kevin Durant to what people got him in the media is how good he is. Like, Kevin Durant is so good that everything that he has done and accomplished, they just throw away. Oh, your Golden State Warriors rings don't count. You haven't done anything since you left Golden State and all this crazy stuff. They say all of that, but he's so good, he's still a top 5 in his position and the top 10 or 15 player of all time, and they don't even count his rings. But Clay is going to be a Hall of Fame because KD joined them and helped them get 2 more rings. really helped them get 3 more rings because him agreeing to a sign and trade is what got them D'Lo, and then that trade for D'Lo turned into a trade for Wiggins, and Wiggins was the most important dude outside of Steph for that 2023 championship. They wouldn't even have Wiggins if it wasn't for Kevin Durant. So credit him for those 3 rings. They wouldn't have those 3 rings. They wouldn't have ring 2, 3, and 4 if it wasn't for Kevin Durant, right? So, but Klay's gonna be the Hall of Famer. Steve Kerr gonna be Hall of Fame coach. He's already top 15 coach of all time. NBA basically already solidified that. Draymond is gonna be a Hall of Famer. He's already, I think, is he a top 75? I don't know, but he's gonna be a Hall of Famer, right? Golden State Warriors has a dynasty, $2 billion evaluation on their franchise. All of that. Bob Myers, great GM, made him a lot of money. 2 max contracts for Klay, 2 max contracts for Draymond. Like, all of these things is what they earned, and all Kevin Durant gets is you can't do anything without the Warriors. He gets no credit for what happened with Golden State. He just gets all the dirt, but everybody else gets elevated. I just thought that was interesting. So, but I see a lot of comments in here, so I open the phone lines up. Y'all can call and let me know what y'all think about this whole situation. Shay J, what's up? Yeah. Yeah, YouTube act like that sometimes with notifications. They probably ain't used to me going live at this time. He got good because all player he tall has him that could guard him or retire. What the retire? Yeah, you typing too fast for the most part. Yeah, I can't. KD gets discredit because he comes across as a mercenary, just a gun for hire on any team that makes a deep playoff run. Did you watch him play? Like, the only reason why people act and think like that is because we look at basketball and think of it as like a drama movie or like a soap opera, some type of fake reality show. Like, notice what you said was all storyline. This is how writers and sports reporters write. You get what I'm saying? These are people who went to journalism school. These are not people who spent most of their time on the blacktop playing ball and doing all that. That's not that. So that's not gonna be their strong suit to talk about. They're gonna talk about stories. KD gets discredit because he comes off as a mercenary. That's mercenary. We don't even say that on the basketball court. I've never heard somebody be called a mercenary playing basketball. Can he hoop or not? When you watch him play, did he perform? Can he be guarded? Can he defend? How does he respond to pressure? Does he rise to the occasion? Does he make clutch baskets? Does he play good in the clutch? Who can stop him? So I don't care what name they give him as a mercenary. When he went to Golden State, what did he do? He led the team, got to the finals against the baddest man that was supposed to be on the planet, LeBron, and he embarrassed them. And he took them to the daggone promised land and got finals MVP for both of them. That's what I know. That's what I seen. So this mercenary is, I mean, what does that even come from? That's Fox Sports, right? That's Chris Broussard or something like that. JP said KD is a perennial loser. Yeah. 2 finals MVPs. It's hard to say 2 finals MVPs is a perennial loser. That's very hard to say. You get what I'm saying? But that's what happened. That's what happened when you leave your kingdom. He should have never done that. He thought it was going to be a good idea. He let these Rudy Poots over here in Golden State talk him in there because they kept getting beat by or they got beat by the Cavs and LeBron, and they were scared to face him again. They was afraid that they wasn't going to get back to the finals. They knew they had to get past OKC or wherever Kevin Durant went. They knew they had to get past the Rockets, and they didn't want that smoke. And even if they happened to get past them again, they didn't have the confidence that they could beat a healthy Kyrie, J.R. Smith, Kevin Love, and LeBron James. They didn't have the confidence that they could beat that, especially after they lost Harrison Barnes. They lost Andrew Bogut. Lorenzo Barbosa retired. They lost Brendan Rush. They lost Avesta Azili. Those was the top 5 guys coming off their bench. 2 rim protectors, 3-and-D guy, Brandon Rush and Harrison Barnes gone. Leandro Barbosa, the human blur, the instant offense off the bench. They lost all of that. They were afraid. That's why they begged Kevin Durant, and Kevin Durant got tricked into doing it because he was so desperate to play in an offense that wasn't what he was doing with Russ. Like what they was doing with Russ was they was about to have Kevin Durant looking like Melo was looking and like Paul George was looking, because ultimately when he left OKC, I think Russ had that MVP year by himself, and then he got Paul George after that. And the offense that was running with Westbrook and Paul George was what they had in mind for Kevin Durant and Westbrook. And if you remember Melo and Paul George in OKC, it was a lot of Westbrook. There was a lot of Westbrook. And I don't think Kevin Durant wanted to be in that type of offense. So he looked over there and was like, man, they moving. The ball's moving. It's not sticking to one guy. They're moving without the ball. He liked the offense. Just as a basketball mind, he was thinking about how great it would be in that offense because he wanted to challenge himself to be in something different, right? So he was thirsting for that. But he wasn't thinking legacy. Like Kobe Bryant was thinking legacy when he wanted to separate from Shaq, right? LeBron James was thinking legacy when he wanted to go and join Miami Heat, because he knew if he didn't get no rings, if he didn't get no rings, they're not going to compare him to Jordan anymore. So he just wanted to hurry up and get a ring. But here's the thing. He knew he was creating a super team, and he knew that was foul, and he knew Jordan never did that. So what was his plan if he gets these rings? What is going to be his plan to make sure that they talk about it the right way? Gosh, I just control the media, and he did. You know what I mean? Like, and he did. So they were thinking legacy. I don't think Kevin Durant was thinking legacy. He wasn't thinking at all. He just wanted to hoop. And he probably couldn't see it was going to play out like this. He thought, you would think that if you go out there and you ball and you obviously the best player on the floor, that people would respect it. But, they just wrote it off and was like, oh, no, it's Golden State. You're supposed to do that. Wizman Ballin, thanks for the super chat. KD is hated because he was a problem when he played in the Olympics with Kobe as a rookie. LeBron practiced with him during the lockout, and KD banged on him, and he knew KD was a problem since. Yeah. And speaking of Olympics, man, what KD did to get gold last year with the team he had, not last year, but last Olympic in Tokyo. I mean, he had Draymond Green. He had Tatum, who didn't even barely get in the game in this Olympics. Tatum was his number 2. I want to say he had Booker. And then after that, I mean, he had Booker, Tatum, KD. Those was the 3 superstars, and everybody else was role players. Everybody else, I mean, Keldon Johnson from the Spurs, Draymond Green, JaVale McGee. Like, these are the guys that he won gold with in Tokyo. Kevin Durant won gold with that team. Booker, Tatum, and then Draymond, Keldon Johnson, JaVale McGee, and some more role players. It was very impressive. Very impressive. That should have been talked about more. But yeah, phone lines is open, y'all. I'll leave it open for about 2 more minutes before I move to the next topic. He said, the young disciple said KD has never embarrassed LeBron. You're a dang gonna lie. Both finals against Golden State and Cleveland, he embarrassed LeBron. Every time LeBron tried to guard him, he was making him look silly. So yeah, that's a daggone lie. I mean, look, man, y'all can like LeBron, man, but come on, man, y'all just be coming in here lying, man. Like, seriously. I mean, it ain't this. It's just basketball. It's just entertainment, y'all. Like, we can be honest, man. I don't know why y'all feelings being it like that. I should be able to say, yeah, he embarrassed LeBron, and everybody be like, yeah, he did. LeBron is not you. Like you're embarrassed for LeBron, and you're taking up and defending him. Like you can't even have real conversations like that with people. Like what happened to the barbershop talk that we used to have, man? We got people in here defending people like lawyers. And I'm like, dude, man, we don't, neither one of us know him. It's just, I mean, can we speak real for a second? Are you ever going to admit anything that is there anything LeBron has done that has not been spectacular? Or do you think he's perfect? Like, seriously, man, like this is crazy, man. People in here defending like their life depend on it, man. Yeah, you're right. He owned them in the finals. 100%. 100%. All right, so no phone calls on this one. Okay, we do got a phone call. Jeff, what's up?
Hey, man, brother, how you doing?
I'm good, man. What's your thoughts?
Oh, you already know how I think about it. It's just Gilbert Arenas just having his roundabout way of trying to talk about LeBron without talking about LeBron. That's what the narrative is about. I mean, they're using KT as the Trojan horse here, but it ain't. It's really about LeBron. They're trying to make it his punk moves that he's been making going to Miami. How he played all these little moves he keeps making. That's what this is all about. They're just trying to say that because of how he's going on with how KD did. I mean, now for me, I think I look at how you look at it. To me, I look at them both as their legacies are diminished. It doesn't take away from the fact that they're great ballers and KD, the Warriors, whatever. I mean, I think what was it, 16? They lost because of Draymond. To me, 15. They lost because of Draymond. Because
of the suspension?
Yeah.
They had 7 tries though, brother.
No, but
not even that. They was up 3-1.
They were up 3-1.
They had
and that's why. Go ahead, yeah.
They had 3 tries to get 1 win. Draymond wasn't suspended for 3 games.
He was out that second game. They lost the game 4. They lost.
Correct.
He was out game 5. They lost. Game 6 they lost because he wasn't there, and they lost game 7. But again, I'm not, like I said, to me, it diminished all of them. To me,
so
the fact that you went and begged somebody to come, and the fact that he left because he didn't feel he could win. Like you said, the gauntlet he was going to have to. Everybody, whatever gauntlet they were have to go, they were all going to have to go through the West because the West had some problem situations out there for anybody. Yeah. So, to me, I don't put them. That's one of the reasons why I don't put them on the same level with the Bulls. But just because I haven't seen it all how it happened. People talk about Rodman like he was a superstar. Rodman was never a superstar. He was an all-star. Rodman was great at being a defender and rebounder, but offensively he was 4 points.
Pretty much. Yeah.
What are we talking about right now?
Not a superstar at all. Not a king.
I saw somebody in the chat talking about They were talking about Harper. Now Ron Harper had an opportunity, but when he went from Cleveland to LA to the Clippers, he got hurt. People don't realize that when he's on rehabilitation. He was still a great guy to come off the bench and do some great stuff, but Ron Harper wasn't. He never reached his potential. Number one, because when he was at his prime, he was at the Clippers, and at that time, that organization even worse than it is now. It was terrible. And, that was a graveyard for the NBA being sent to the Clippers back then. So he never got to shine, but he was still a quality star back then. But by the time he made it to the Bulls, he wasn't, he wasn't like fighting for his signature back then. He rehabilitated his career in Chicago. That's why he went to the Lakers. Yeah. Bill took him to the Lakers. But again, I'm with you. I'm just waiting on this dude, Mar. And I guess Pythagoras, somebody or other, they keep talking this, like, they want to, they talk a big game, but like I told you, and LeBron fans, they ain't gonna call in.
Yeah,
they ain't gonna call in.
Yeah, I'm gonna clear the phone lines and give him a little bit longer to call in. Yeah, give him a chance.
Mar talking about he wanted to find out.
Yeah, I let him call. So Pythagoras said LeBron, he got his averages up here 34, 10, and 8 in the 18 finals. And he said that mean KD didn't embarrass him. Dude, he didn't win a game. And he couldn't stop KD. That's embarrassing. I don't care what you can't give me a stat line, especially when the game plan.
He was walking away from the KD would get the ball out on the wing, and what would LeBron do? Olay.
Yeah, Olay or switch. Yeah, I mean, he was doing some crazy stuff. It was bad. It was bad on defense. And then furthermore, with LeBron's stats, ever since the San Antonio series and Golden State, this is why Iguodala and Kawhi got MVPs in the finals, even though LeBron got his numbers. What people don't realize is the game plan was put the best defender we got on LeBron. That way we don't have to double, right?
Right.
And we know he's going to get 30, but you just got to make sure the 30 is as tough as possible. Make him play.
And then you look at the turnovers. He's going to have to get bailed out.
Exactly.
He's going to get into a point, especially in the fourth quarter, get down to crunch time. He's going to be looking for an outlet. That's why, like you said, J.R. Smith, Ray Allen, all these people, Kawhi, they're there as his outlet because he knows everybody knows when it gets down to the crunch time, he is not going to have that ball in his hand if he can help it. If he can put that responsibility on somebody else, that's what he's going to do. It ain't because he's drawing the defense as a decoy. No. He wants that other person to take that shot.
Mm.
It ain't because it wasn't a Steve Kerr, hey, be ready. It wasn't that type of stuff. It's like y'all already know at any point in time, be ready.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting rid of this ball.
Yeah. Let me take this call. I think this might be one of them. So I see. All right, brother.
All right, man. Later.
Caller from Texas. What's up?
What's up, bro? They talking about LeBron fans won't call in. I'm here.
All right, what's up? What's your thoughts on the topic?
Man, what's popping, bro? Hey, bro, come on, bro. You got to stop with that, man. You talking about LeBron got embarrassed. Like, bro, LeBron averaged like 30, 35, 10, and 9 in that series, bro.
What did he do on defense, though? What did he do on defense, young?
Bro, now come on, man, dog. You know basketball, bro. It's no way on God's green earth that LeBron can cover all his offensive responsibilities and guard Kevin Durant at the same time, bro. Like what the rest of the team gonna do, bro? Did you watch the series? Did you see all the missed assignments? Did you see when Kevin Durant made him fall on that inbounds play and went and got the dunk? Did you see the play where Kevin Durant was coming straight down the straight? Hold on. Did you see the play where Kevin Durant was coming straight down the middle and LeBron tried to act like he was running to the shooter to go get Steph, but Kevin Durant came down and just got a straight up wide open dunk down the middle, and LeBron turned around, look at his teammates like, "What was y'all with?" Did you see the two plays in both finals where? Hold on. What that was a game? Did you hold on, young? The game 3 where he dribbled up and LeBron standing at the 3-point line waiting on him, and Kevin Durant rose up and hit the 3 right in his daggone face. And he did that twice in the game 3 back-to-back years, and then he did another one from way back where he got the softest screen known to man, and LeBron switched on it, and he did it again. Like, LeBron was getting embarrassed, bro. Dagger shot after dagger shot after dagger shot.
So what you call, bro? LeBron put 51, 8 and 8 on that boy. Like where was he at?
That was the game plan, brother. Don't double.
No, bro. It ain't no game plan to let LeBron get 50, bro.
Like,
come on, man, dog. Come on, bro.
He wasn't getting no 50.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
He wasn't.
Come on, man. Like, stop it, bro. Like, I'm just saying, bro. Listen, I'm saying before KD went to Golden State, right? Like, LeBron was like 19-5 against that boy.
Against KD.
He was killing KD, bro.
Yeah, but
that's the one thing.
Hold on, but this is when LeBron was on the super scene. LeBron had Wade and Bosh on Miami.
No. Like, listen, bro. Well, if you got Russ, KD, Harden, Ibaka, and Kendrick Perkins on the team, I don't want to hear that super team stuff, bro.
First of all, we go not say Kendrick Perkins' name when we're talking about this. All right, can we agree on that? We're not saying Kendrick Perkins.
No. The reason I'm saying Kendrick, I'm not saying Kendrick Perkins like he was an all NBA player. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying he had championship pedigree, bro. Coming from the Celtics.
Yeah, but he ain't had no more. He ain't had no more game. So we go. Hold on. We're not gonna say Kendrick Perkins, right? But let's go to the KD. Yeah, KD was a monster. Harden was not a monster. He was before his prime. Westbrook, not a monster before his prime. We're talking about Durant. We're talking about Chris Bosh. Hold on. We talking about they did, and they beat Dirk. But we're talking about Chris Bosh in his prime, superstar. D Wade in his prime, superstar. And LeBron James in his prime, superstar. So you saying Westbrook is a superstar, but Chris Bosh is not?
Bro, Chris Bosh, nobody thinks Chris Bosh was ever a superstar, bro. Out of the 7 years that he played with Toronto, he only went to the playoffs twice. Never got out the first round. How is that a superstar, bro?
If he would have stayed in Toronto, he would have been able to do it. Same thing with Anthony Davis. It's not Chris Bosh's fault that LeBron James summoned him to Miami to help him get a ring. He should have stayed in Toronto.
See, bro, that's the narrative shit I be talking about, bro. That's the narrative shit I be talking about right there, bro. Because Bosh was going to Miami with Wade regardless, bro.
Yeah, but that's my point. He didn't have to. He didn't have to go. He didn't have to go play third fiddle. Like the fact that you saying he's not a superstar, and
he's not.
Okay, it's great. He's not a super. So who was the top power forwards in the league at that time?
It wasn't him.
Oh, well, I'm asking who was it? We know it was KG. We know KG was one. Okay, KG, Duncan, and then who was after there? KG, Duncan, and then who was after them? And then who else? Bosh. Bosh.
I'm just saying.
Bosh was top three in his position.
Before I take Bosh, bro.
Of course, for the sake of this conversation, you would.
No. I'm talking about period.
Yeah, for the sake of this conversation, you would. But it's a reason. Is it then? How come LeBron didn't go get Gasol then?
But Gasol, I'm saying, do you know if Gasol? I don't even know if Gasol was a free agent that year.
Hey, he could have called Gasol. He knew what he was doing.
Come on, man, dog. Listen to what this is logic, bro. The Cleveland Cavaliers front office, right? They refused to trade J.J. Hickson, bro, for a Maury Stoudemire, right?
Right.
And that's who y'all want. That's the front office that y'all want LeBron to like to put his future in the hands of, bro.
Well, if the front office was so bad, then how come he went back to him after he left? Let me ask you this question: why did he leave Miami to go back?
Now, bro.
Well, hold on. So why did he leave Miami in the first place?
Bro, he left. He left.
Be honest. Be honest.
Bro, he left to go make it right on the promise that he made, bro.
Well, he should have never left then.
No, I got the pedigree now, bro. Like, listen.
Where did he get the pedigree from?
Listen, man, Dine. You can only get the pedigree through experience, bro.
So he got it from Wade. He got it from Wade.
How did he get a pedigree from Wade?
Well, evidently Wade already had it. He had a ring in the Finals MVP.
Are you saying the Miami organization? Like is that what you're saying?
I know Wade had a Finals MVP in the ring already. So, I know that first year against Dallas, Wade showed up, but LeBron didn't. So evidently he had to learn. He had to learn something from Wade.
What you talking about was like 5 years before LeBron came to Miami. So if D Wade could teach LeBron pedigrees and all that, why he couldn't teach himself, nigga, not to miss the playoffs, to get out the first round of the playoffs? Like LeBron would have been all right without Miami, bro.
All right, so why he leave then?
I didn't say.
You said he would have been all right without Miami. So why he go to Miami? He should have stayed in Cleveland then.
No, he shouldn't have, bro, because I never said it. LeBron was all right in Cleveland. I said LeBron would have been all right without Miami.
Without a super team?
What you mean a super team? That's another narrative, bro. So you telling me if you got Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, and Kevin Garnett along with Rajon Rondo, you telling LeBron to go to war against that with Delonte West, Mo Williams?
Yeah.
Sasha Pavlovich?
Yeah, because
Nah.
listen,
bro.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why.
Nah.
Because you're the person that wants to be compared to the GOAT. Right? So
what that mean, bro?
I'm about to tell you. So here's the thing. You're talking about a team that had already won in Boston with Bird, McHale, Parrish, all them dudes. So they stacked. You're talking about a Detroit Pistons team who had already run Isaiah, Rick Mahorn, Joe Dumars, all these dudes. So they stacked. Michael Jordan saw it as a challenge to try to get through those guys. He didn't rush it. Hold on. You gotta let me finish this. You gotta let me finish this. He's in Chicago. They never won before. He didn't go and look across the room and say, who was in my draft class that's a superstar that I can join? Because who was in this draft class? Hakeem. He didn't. Hold on. It's no difference. It's no difference. It's the same franchise. It's the Boston Celtics who got a stat squad in both examples. And in both examples, there's a superstar in the same draft class with Jordan and LeBron. Jordan decided to thug it out and get this rookie in Pippen and build his team up to go out in the battle. LeBron decided to leave his organization and go team up with Wade and Bosh. Now, who was in the draft class with Mike? It was Barkley and Olajuwon, I think.
Nah, it wasn't Barkley.
It wasn't Barkley. It was Olajuwon, who I know Sam Bowie went one. Olajuwon went two. Jordan went three. There was whoever y'all put it in the group chat. Who was another superstar that was in that draft?
Because Barkley came out a year after that.
Okay, so but my point is, it would have been like if Michael Jordan found Hakeem and another superstar in that draft class to join him on another franchise just so they can beat the older Boston Celtics and the older Detroit Pistons. He could have just waited his turn, but LeBron was in a rush.
Hold on. You say waited his turn?
Yeah.
Man, bro, are you listening to what you saying? Waited his turn? Hey, ask Garnett about that waiting his turn. Bro, ask players that see the funny thing is that like we have data to show us players that have did exactly what you saying do.
Jordan did it.
End of their career, nigga,
Jordan did it.
Like they regret that shit, bro.
No, Jordan did it.
No, Jordan didn't, bro.
He did do it.
Bro. Listen, bro.
He didn't leave Chicago. He didn't leave Chicago. He didn't run from the ground.
I don't think LeBron would have left if he had the front office that Michael Jordan had. Jerry Krause is one of the best GMs. I'm talking about in NBA history, bro. Listen, bro. When Michael Jordan tried to get his teammates or from his alma mater from UNC, drafted or picked up by Jerry Krause, nigga, Jerry Krause made it his business, nigga, to go the complete opposite. Bro, bro, you acting like you don't. Hold
on. So let's compare. Let's compare. Let's compare these GMs that you're talking about. You saying Jerry Krause is one of the best GMs. All right. So the first thing, the first thing that Jerry Krause did that was so great is draft Michael Jordan. Correct?
No, he didn't, because he's the one that drafted Michael Jordan.
Okay, so Jerry Krause didn't even do that, huh?
Nah, he didn't.
Okay, all right. So let's just talk about the front office. Let's not even make it personal. Jerry Krause. The Chicago Bulls drafted Michael Jordan. That's a good move, right? They didn't draft Sam Bowie. They didn't draft King. They drafted Mike. Good move, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Was it a good move for Cleveland to draft LeBron?
Come on, bro. What are we talking about?
Okay, so they both did the good move by going to go find their superstar, right?
Yeah.
The second thing that the Bulls did is went and found a co-star. Well, they didn't know they was getting a co-star on Scottie Pippen. They drafted, they scouted well and got Scottie Pippen.
Mm-hmm.
He was averaging 7 points as a rookie. He wasn't all, he was okay. But
where's LeBron?
Well, hold on. They went and got somebody in Larry Hughes that was averaging over 20 points. Hold on. Larry Hughes, LeBron couldn't work with him. Right? So you get Scotty. We know what Scotty turned into, but how did he turn into that? What did Mike do to help Scotty turn into that?
Mike can turn Scotty into.
So Scotty was already a beast. He was already a beast. He was already a beast. Scotty was already. Hold on, Scotty was already a beast.
No,
he wasn't. He wasn't. Who averaged more points? Who averaged more points? Scotty or Larry?
What you mean, Scotty?
Scotty or Larry Hughes? Yeah. Larry Hughes averaged more points. Who else was in that Cleveland team? Hold on. Who else was on that Cleveland team? They had Carlos. They had Carlos Boozer. Listen, they had Carlos Boozer. LeBron couldn't play with him. They let him go. They had Ricky Davis. He was averaging more than Larry Hughes. Ricky Davis couldn't play with him. They let him go. Nobody could play with LeBron. Because he needs a specific type of player. He need a big man. Listen, hey, I'm a mute you if I can't finish this. I don't want to mute you, young.
You still talking?
Yeah, I'm still talking.
You can mute me.
He needs a specific type of big man. One that don't want to be in the post, that doesn't mind standing by the 3-point line to spread the floor for his dribble drive. And he needs point guards and small forwards that are shooters.
Mm-hmm.
Those are specific type players you need. If Scottie Pippen got drafted to the Cleveland Cavaliers, he would have got traded because Scottie Pippen plays with the ball and LeBron needs the ball.
So in LeBron's first 7 years, like who did he trade?
A lot of people. Ricky Davis, whether it was a trade or letting them go in free agency. Ricky Davis, Carlos Boozer.
Come on, bro. Carlos Boozer signed for. Bro, Carlos Boozer pulled the flim flam nigga over Cleveland eyes, nigga.
Went to Utah and freaking balled out. So don't tell me that Cleveland didn't get him help. They bought Antoine Jameson. They bought Antoine Jameson there to help him out. They bought Daniel Marshall. They got Mo Williams out there. Come on, man. Don't act like they tried everybody. They tried. How is it not a co-star? How good you got to be to see that's y'all problem. Y'all think superstars got to be co-stars. Hey, he was good. He was good enough to help Gilbert Arenas with the Wizards. Why he wasn't good? Why he wasn't good enough? He was good enough to be a All-American at Carolina. Why Antoine Jameson get the LeBron decide to not be good? Like no, it's hard to work with LeBron, bro. It's hard,
bro. It's hard to work with bro. Like I mean, like at the end of the day, bro, you can say that about like every player, bro. Especially top-notch players, bro. I mean, if you didn't have a certain mentality, nigga, you wasn't gonna mess with Jordan. If you didn't have a certain work ethic, you wasn't gonna mess with Kobe.
I'm not talking about mentality. I'm talking about your game don't mesh because he needs a specific player. He needs shooters. Even his big men got to be shooters. Carlos Boozer wanted to post up, and you can't do that. Ricky Davis wanted the ball, and you can't get the ball in LeBron's system, man.
Bro, you're talking about LeBron. Carlos Boozer played 1 year with LeBron, bro.
And then he had to go. But my point is this. You claim this is my point. You claim that he didn't have anybody in Cleveland, and Cleveland had the worst front office ever, and they never brought him any help. And I'm naming you guys. Ricky Davis was there. The coach was Paul Silas. They let him go. They bring in Mike Brown. They got Boozer. They got Larry Hughes. They got Big Z. They got all. They bringing in Antoine Jameson. They bringing in all these dudes trying to fit with this dude, and it's very hard to fit with him, man. But I'll take their comment off the air. I'm gonna get to some of these other phone calls. All right, thank you. Caller from Pennsylvania.
Yo.
What's good?
Yeah, what's good, Drew? How you?
What's up? What's your thoughts?
I want to talk about why y'all keep thinking KD saved Steph's legacy.
I didn't say he saved Steph's legacy. I said he saved the Warriors' legacy and dynasty. Steph, would you? I explained how I know. It took me 30 minutes to explain how. If you get one ring, you're not a dynasty. If you get one, like right now, Milwaukee Bucks got one ring with Giannis. Are they a dynasty?
You right? No.
No. Jokic got one ring with Denver. Are they a dynasty? No. Kawhi got one ring with Toronto. Are they a dynasty? No. Right? It's a lot of players that can get one ring, but it's very hard to get back to back or three-peat or get multiple rings. Steph Curry with that one ring, the Warriors were done after that. After they lost to the Cavs, they would not have got back to the finals after they lost to the Cavs. And what would have happened is they would not have paid a max contract to Clay, Steph, and Draymond. So Draymond and Clay would have been gone at some point, probably both of them, maybe one of them, right? They would have been gone at some point. That team was going to break up as we know it. The only reason why they stayed together is because they brought in Kevin Durant and ran off 2 straight rings and got to a third finals and almost got a third ring if Kevin Durant didn't get hurt. And that was the reason. And then Kevin Durant decided to leave, and that's how Draymond and Clay got their max contracts. If Kevin Durant never shows up, those series events never happen, and Steph is a one-ring superstar, just like Jokic, just like Giannis, and just like whoever else got one ring, Dirk. That's what would have happened. How do you see it any different?
I see it that for one, that when KD went to the Warriors, it was beneficial for both. Because what would KD have done without the Warriors?
How did Kevin Durant benefit from that? What did you have Kevin Durant ranked at all time before he went to the Warriors? You personally?
Me personally?
Yeah.
At that time, KD was 1 or 2 in the league.
No. All time. What did you have him ranked at?
Oh, all time?
Yeah.
Top 10.
Top 10. All right. Did when he got the 2 rings, did you move him up?
No, he stayed where he was.
He stayed where he was. That's my point. Kevin Durant did not benefit from those 2 rings. Nope. Nobody moved Kevin Durant up from those 2 rings. Not even you. And you admitted that. But with the rings that Steph got, did you move him up?
No.
You didn't?
No, I didn't move Steph up until the 4th one.
Oh, so okay, so the 4th one. And he wouldn't have got 2 and 3, so there wouldn't have been no 4th one if it wasn't for Kevin Durant. It wouldn't have been no 2, 3, or 4. So the fact that Steph hold on, but Steph moved up. Kevin Durant didn't. So Kevin Durant did not benefit by joining it. So it wasn't mutual. Kevin Durant got nothing by joining Golden State.
You say why though? It was like there's a legacy thing, like legacy. KD's legacy what would it have been without them 2, without going there?
What would Steph's be if Kevin Durant didn't join? He would have 1 ring.
Yeah, no,
just like Giannis.
I'm gonna tell you what Steph's legacy would have been. Steph's legacy was already cool. Steph was already unanimous unanimous MVP.
Okay, and
already that and a champion. So
right, and with that 1 ring, we had him number 5. We had Magic, we had Isaiah, we had Oscar, and we probably had CP3 ahead of him and Jason Kidd. Right, so he probably moved into the number 5 with that ring and those 2 MVPs. He probably moved somebody out. Hold on. He probably moved CP3 out and got number 5. But now people are talking about him better than Magic right now.
But you know why though? It's not because of rings. It's that.
It is because of rings.
No, it's not.
Okay, Steph Curry right now with 0 rings, where you got him ranked at?
You can't say with 0 rings.
No, you said his ring. So you said his rings is not the reason why he's ranked high. So take his rings away. Take his rings away, and just based on how good he is as a player, what do you rank him at?
Now, I'm still giving that.
You still give him what?
I still give him over Magic. Let me tell you why.
Sheesh.
Can I tell you why? Besides Michael Jordan, name somebody else that changed the game of basketball. The way they play.
Brother, I don't care about no storybook. I don't care about no soap opera. I don't care about no change the game of basketball. That's just like me saying, listen, nobody cares about that. That's just like that's just like me saying, who has played 23 years other than LeBron? Who has won with 3 franchises other than LeBron? Who played with their son? That don't count toward how good you are. That look, I don't do stories, brother.
I'm the greatest shooter of all time.
He's not the greatest shooter of all time. He's the best player of all the great shooters. There are shooters that don't get in the game that shoot just as good as Steph Curry, if not better. Dale Ellis was a great shooter. Steph Curry's dad was as good a shooter as he was, but he wasn't as good as player as Steph was. So out of all the great shooters, Steph Curry might be the best player. So we get to see him shoot 15 threes a game. But we never got to see Dale Curry shoot 15 threes a game. We never got to see Dale Ellis shoot 15 threes a game. We never got to see we never got to see Petrovic shoot 15 threes a game. We never got to see Stojakovic shoot 15 threes a game. They're not good as Steph Curry. So no, Reggie Miller, great shooter. Mark Price, one of the first guys to get 50, 40, 90. Great shooter. Probably a great Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, great shooter. Great shooter. So we don't know if he's the greatest shooter of all time. Ray Allen, great shooter. And Ray Allen, as great of a shooter Ray Allen is, he didn't shoot 15 threes a game.
Steph just broke his record. Who was the number one shooter?
Brother, did you listen to what I just said? I said Ray Allen did not shoot that many threes a game.
Because he didn't get the green light to do it.
Right. But the reason why he didn't get the green light to do it is because they didn't coach like that in the 90s, brother. They didn't coach like that. Nobody. I mean, we were still throwing the ball in the post to big man. Nobody was letting people come down and just throw threes up in like James Harden. Nobody was doing that, brother. Nobody. So I mean, we're going in circles. We're going in circles. We're going in circles though. But we're going in circles. The point is, Kevin. You called in. You asked me how did Kevin Durant say the Warriors' legacy. I explained it to you because they have one ring if Kevin Durant doesn't show up. Do you agree with that?
I think they would have 2.
Well, why you think they would have 2?
He wasn't there. He was gone.
Wait. Hold on. Why do you think they would have 2, sir?
They won the one, and without KD, gets Cleveland, right?
Right, but so if Kevin Durant doesn't show up, how do they get to 2022 with the roster that they had to win? They don't. If Kevin Durant never shows up, that 2022 ring does not exist. You do understand cause and effect, right? You can't say if Kevin Durant don't show up, they still go have Wiggins and Poole and all those players in 2022. That doesn't happen. You don't even know if they even have Draymond at that time.
In 2022,
Draymond is not there if KD doesn't show up. He was not getting a max contract. He's not there.
So they went 73 and 9 and lost that one.
They went 73 and 9 and lost 10 games in the playoffs. That is not good stuff, brother.
No, I'm not saying about that. So you wouldn't think they would give them a chance to run it back.
Yeah, they would have run it back the next. They would have run it back the next year, but they wasn't going to win the next year without Kevin Durant. There's no way. They don't even get out of the West. They're not even getting out of the West without Kevin Durant.
You just said they would get contract.
No. They were still on the. They were still under contract after that next season. I'm talking about when it was time for them to extend.
Okay. I'm like, wait. You as a general manager, you have to do your team something just for 7 years.
Yeah, when it was time for them to extend, they would have been getting their walking papers because there's no way you can have 3 max players on your team and y'all not winning. That would have been a wrap. So yeah, they get 1 ring. And so with Kevin Durant joining, it saved them. But I appreciate the call though.
Thank you.
All right, let's move on. Oh yeah, I like this one too. I can say, what do you say? I can say KD got replaced by another wing. KD was a plug and play piece. You know what debunks that? Because I hear people say that too, right? I hear people say It didn't have to be Kevin Durant. It could have been any small forward that was good. And what debunks that is because they had two small forwards that was good, Harrison Barnes and Iguodala. So y'all basically telling me that they could have just saved their money and just put Iguodala in the starting lineup and won 2 straight rings against Cleveland. Which is funny because they almost lost to Houston twice with KD. So imagine if KD was in Houston and y'all was running it back with Iguodala. Caller from California, man. This is the last call on this topic. What's up?
What's going on, bro?
What's good?
So the KD issue that I have that you, I know you dislike Steph a little bit, and it's cool. It's cool.
No, I actually don't. I really wish y'all knew me enough to know how much I actually like Steph. I just ain't go cap for him.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but to be fair and to be objective, I don't think you're being objective about it. So look,
I definitely am.
They win the first ring.
I
Okay,
definitely am.
Fair.
I definitely am. Hold on. You calling it? Hold on. What are you calling for?
About the Steph KD joint.
All right, go ahead.
So they win their first ring, Golden State, right?
Correct.
And they come back, they lose to LeBron.
Correct.
So that series is even. I do agree somewhat with KD being a portion of the reason of why, not the sole purpose or the sole reasoning, but he is a portion of why they won those 2 rings. But also, now that, like you said, cause and effect, KD does leave eventually due to whatever the issues him and Draymond are having. They do plug and play. They bring in Andrew Wiggins, and they do get another ring.
Wait. You said so. Hold on. What are you saying again? You saying Kevin Durant? He shows up and they get 2 rings.
Yeah, I said he is a reason why they won. He is not the sole reason. When you say that a person is the reasoning, that means that everything outside, so Steph, Clay, they were non-factors. That's essentially what you're saying.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
No, not you. I'm saying that's what.
No, I don't think that's what they mean in any circle. Like you can't have a 12-man roster and then say one person is solely responsible for whatever happened. You can't say that.
You guys are trying to give KD the lion's share of the responsibility of them winning. It's really based on that team structure in general. It's not just
what I'm saying is they could be great. They could be a great team, but they knew they couldn't beat they first of all, they knew they couldn't get out of the West again, the way they was constructed. But if they did so happen to get out of the West, who they just faced in the finals, a healthy Love, a healthy Kyrie, a healthy LeBron, a healthy J.R. Smith, they didn't feel confident enough that they could beat them, knowing how they just defended Steph Curry, and they could blow a 3-1 lead with just them bringing up the physicality on Steph, and he couldn't handle the physicality. So this is Draymond. This is coming out of Draymond Green's mouth when he said, "We knew we could not win and beat Cleveland again because of how they was This is Draymond Green saying this. We knew we wasn't going to win. So yes, when you add Kevin Durant to the Warriors, that's how you got those 2 rings. You don't get those 2 rings without adding Kevin Durant. That's what I mean.
We're not taking that away, but I'm saying that he is not the sole. He cannot.
All I'm saying is they don't get the rings without Kevin Durant. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, that's fair. I don't even want to argue with you about it because, like I said, your sentiments and what you're saying in the show is a little bit teeter towards making it seem like as if it's more so on KD is the reason why they won.
I've been very clear about what I meant. I've been very clear that they don't get those rings without Kevin Durant. Ring 2, 3, and 4 does not happen without Kevin Durant.
That's a big possibility. Like I said, no, we don't. You don't have a crystal ball. Nobody has a crystal ball. We can't tell. We do know that he did play that role, and they did win because he was there.
But we do know the whole organization in the locker room felt that same sentiment. So what I'm saying, Dre, yeah, Draymond, Sean Livingston.
Draymond is a liar.
Sean Livingston.
You know that. I know that.
You want to hear what Sean Livingston said about it? I'll play.
I heard. I know what these guys. I know what they all said. But
bring this killer to, you know what I'm saying? You bring a unicorn to what we have. It was just telepathy. You know what I'm saying? Like we all just moving. It's like string music. You know what I'm saying? But then you got him in the fourth to like we just out here watching him. Like just get this man to rock. Like
How did you look at Steph? Because I know you had a higher level of respect for Steph, but for Steph to have KD come in and I don't want to say take a step back, but understood like, yeah, KD might need to be the first option. I need to be the second option. How did you look at Steph after you seen him with no problem?
I can play way more than that, but you get the gist of it. Steph took a step back. It was KD's team. He was the leader. He got the most shots. He got the fourth quarter calls. You get what I'm saying? And Steph got in where he fit in.
Like I said, I play ball. I understand it.
It was KD's squad, bro.
That wasn't KD. The leader of the team, it was not KD. Neither was Steph. I won't even give it to Steph. I don't think Steph is a natural leader either. I don't think either one of those guys are leaders. But they both play a role. All I'm saying is you can't base it off of what two different people say, because you and I both know you played ball, I played ball. Just because my teammate feels one way doesn't mean that's the way I'm feeling. So that don't mean that 4 other guys aren't feeling that, oh, we need KD. Maybe 2 or 3 guys do feel that they need another piece. But that doesn't mean the entirety of the team feels that.
Who you think on the team felt like they didn't need KD to beat Cleveland?
I don't know. I can't say for sure.
I mean, I can at least say Steph, Bob Myers, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson. Those are the guys who actually went to go meet Kevin Durant and tell him that we wanted you. So we know those at least those 3 players thought that, and the GM thought that, and the coach thought that. That's 5 guys right there. It's probably
I don't know that. I don't know that you can say that, Mel. That's for 100% sure felt that way. Just because he went, he is the face of the team. Bob Myers maybe he felt that way. I'm not saying that the management didn't feel that way. I'm talking about all the players did not feel that way. I can guarantee you, it's always split in the locker room. Now, whether you go out on the floor and perform together, that's totally different. But feeling that you need someone else to come in to save you, I don't think that was the sentiment by everybody in that locker room.
Hey, let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
You got kids?
Yes, sir.
You married?
No.
Okay,
no,
so let's say you married, you got kids in the house, you're a man of the house, you're a father, you're a husband. And I think I do a really good job, probably a little bit better than you. Do you want my expertise to come and help you run the household?
I would figure it out on my own.
You would figure it out on your own. That's what Steph was supposed to do. So the fact that he was open to that man coming into his house and helping him run his household lets me know what he.
Mel, you know that's not a fair analogy.
That is fair. That's fair. But we're territorial though. But listen, we're territorial like that.
Above me, I'm not. It's not like I'm with my girlfriend or my woman, and I'm living with my parents, and I'm underage, where I would like my parents would be Bob Myers and them. I don't have to take nothing from them. This is just me. So they're taking information from the people who own the franchise. It's not just a Steph decision. He's not that polarized, and he does not own that franchise. He has no pull like that.
Man,
so
Kevin Durant, he has pull like that. Kevin Durant,
not to make that decision.
Kevin Durant came in there, took his shoes off, got them big size 30s with his socks holes in them. He put them junks on the daggone kitchen table and was picking his feet, eating freaking grapes and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Went and slept in Steph bed for 3 years. Took two MVP finals MVPs from him, and then walked out and went to Brooklyn. Come on, man, be real.
You know Steph. I mean, KD didn't feel like that because he's soft as hell, so he never felt comfortable in his own skin. So let's stop that cap right there. That's the man crying on Twitter every 12 minutes. So we both know that ain't true.
Hey,
you and I both
hold on.
That.
You take his talking on Twitter as a weakness?
I take it as an emotional defect because I don't think you should respond to every little thing that people say you are in.
Why not? I respond in the comment section on all my videos.
I'm not to everybody. You don't. Not
I
to
try
every
to.
single person.
I try to.
And the people that are trying to pull at his coattail just to get a reaction, you got to be better than that for the most part. Are there times when you should respond? Sure, of course. But the way he responds, it's not even like off any type of sensible response. It's straight emotion, straight. Oh, you's a buster. He's soft.
I say this.
You know he's soft.
No, I'm not gonna say he's soft, right? I say this though before. I don't even think him or Steph is soft. Them some tough skinned dudes, man. They just got a different mentality, than we seen with Kobe and Mike. But this is what I say about Kevin Durant with his Twitter stuff. Because I heard Rob Parker and Chris Broussard say that there was like insecurity or soft or whatever. My thought on that is I would call it soft if what they were saying on Twitter bothered him so much that it affected his play. But him going back and forth with people on Twitter doesn't affect his mentality, doesn't affect his play or anything like that. Like the person that actually gets affected a lot is Kyrie. Remember, he got affected by what happened with the insurrection on the nation's capital. What was that? What that happened? When was that? June 4th? I don't know when that happened, right? He was so affected by that, he took time off. He really, his heart is so big that things bother him like that. Right. So I think stuff on Twitter might bother Kyrie more than it bothers KD. I don't think nothing bothers KD. So that's why I wouldn't call him soft. He just like setting people straight that's on Twitter lying and capping. He just like
but what's the point? What's the point of that? Because that's a circular conversation.
Yeah, but that man ain't got no kids, bro. It's just him and his mama and $1 billion.
And that's
right?
Why
you get what I'm saying? He's either in the gym, practicing, smoking weed somewhere, hanging out with Drake, and he got his phone with him. Why not? I got a Twitter account. Why not?
That part. Yeah, no, I agree. Well, hey, man, I'm gonna let you get back to your show.
All right, brother.
I'm gonna call back in another time, bro.
Okay.
Have a good one.
What's your name?
All right, Sean, man. This
Sean.
is I've been messaging you all in the chat. I'll be all in your chat on your head about that, but it's all. All right, man. Y'all,
hey, before you go though, Steph is my top 3-point guard of all time. I got him right behind Isaiah. I actually like him. If you listen to the show when it first started, when the show first started, people thought I was the biggest Steph fan ever. Right. And it's just funny that when I'm honest about what's going on with Golden State, when people say I don't like Steph, I just be laughing like, man, y'all just don't know, man. I love that dude. Nah. He's from Charlotte. Hey, I'm from Greensboro. I'm right up the road from.
Right.
I've been following him since Davidson. I was on his radar before Main Street got on his radar. As soon as I found out it was Dale Curry's kid, and I seen one game, they showed a highlight on ESPN, and it wasn't even like they didn't even blow it up. It was just like, oh, and I was like, wait, Curry? I said, that's Dale's son? And ever since then, I was watching him. This was a year before he blew up. And I went to the game when he played in Charlotte and in the Hornets arena against the Wolfpack. Went and bought them tickets. Took my son and my nephew. I've been a huge supporter of Steph, but I'm not gonna lie for him.
I mean, I get it. You shouldn't lie for him. I just, hey, like I said, when I watch and you be having your little conversations about Steph, it feel like it's a little tad like just a small bit of like, damn, why they letting the light skinned boy get off like that? You know,
it ain't never personal, man.
You brought up the screens that one day about the illegal screens, and I said, man, that don't just benefit Steph, that benefit everybody in the league. It's illegal. So any shooter is just gonna get extra time to shoot.
Mm.
We had a back and forth about that in the chat one day, but it's all good. Like I said, I like the show, man. Keep doing your thing, bro, and I will definitely call back.
All right, brother. Appreciate it.
All right, man.
All right, let's move on to the next topic. And this one, I guess this topic actually got inspired by a conversation I was having in the comment section, and I can't remember what we was talking about, but we got on the topic with Kyrie Irving and I think the guy said he's not a superstar. And I was like, really? Kyrie Irving's not a superstar? And he started giving me all these reasons why Kyrie Irving's not a superstar, right? And he meets my criteria of a superstar, right? He really does, right? And my criteria of a superstar is, first of all, you got to have obvious superstar talent, right? So you can, I mean, the eye test is easy. You can look at a guy and be like, no, he different. Like when you set yourself apart, right? If you're an all-star every year and I 12 guys on each east and west side, 24 all-stars, but out of those all-stars, there are about 10 or 12 of them that set themselves apart. These are the superstars. These are the guys who carry franchises. So my definition of a superstar talent, and you have proven that you can carry a franchise successfully as the number one option, right? So if you got superstar talent, elite talent, set yourself apart, and you have proven that you can carry a team and a franchise successfully, and we'll talk about what successfully mean, then I'll consider you a superstar. Now, successful to me is when you're the number one, is this team winning ball games in the regular season? Is this team a playoff team? And is this team at least making a playoff run? Can you get out of the first round? Can you get out of the second round, right? Making the playoffs is successful. Losing in the first round, okay, cool. You know what I mean? It happens, right? But if your team is winning ball games, they're performing well under your lead, under your leadership, under your reign as the number one, and you're making the playoffs and you're doing it consistently, then you meet my criteria, right? Now, are there exceptions to the rule where someone is not a number one, like Scottie Pippen, right? Scottie Pippen was a number two most of his years. Can you be a co-star in a number two and we think that you can carry a team as a number one, but you haven't proven it, right? That happens sometime. Like if Kobe never got away from Shaq, would we have gave Kobe superstar status if he never proved that he can do it as a number one? He probably would be an exception. I think Pippen is an exception. I think John Stockton is an exception. Like John Stockton was a number two his whole career behind Malone. But do we think that he could have did what J Kidd did and carried a team as a number one? Maybe, so we make exceptions for guys like that. Okay, we'll call John Stockton a superstar, even though he didn't prove to us that he was a superstar. So that happens, right? But so in Stockton's case, he never got a chance to prove to us that he can carry a team as a number one successfully. But in Pippen's case, he did. Jordan retired. Pippen had 1 year. He was in the MVP discussion. He got to the second round of the playoffs, and they lost to the Knicks in 6 or 7, right? Then the next year, they had a horrible season, right? And Jordan had to come out of retirement and save them and go on a run right before the playoffs so they can get in the playoffs. So they had a horrible season. They was probably about to miss the playoffs that second season. So that probably would have kind of damaged Pippen. But based on what my criteria is, I give him credit. Pippen's a superstar. So that leads us to Kyrie Irving. Now I put a poll up. Some of y'all took the poll, and I just asked simply, is Kyrie Irving a superstar? 86% of y'all, after almost 4,000 votes, said yes, and then there was 14% of y'all that said no. Some of the reasons why people said no was interesting. This guy said, hell no, Kyrie is not a superstar. He's way overrated. That word overrated is interesting to me because that means that you're rated somewhere, but you're rated too high. And I like to know where Kyrie is rated at, because last I checked, he didn't even make top 75 player of all time. So you mean to tell me he's not one of the greatest 75 players, but he's still overrated? That's interesting. Or last I checked on like a Bleacher Report top 100 current, I don't think he was that high either. So I think before you use the word overrated, you got to know what this player is rated at. All right, that's important. And then he said superstars actually show up in the finals. Superstars are invited to the Olympics. He's an overrated diva that hit one shot and hasn't done anything since. He's a one-shot wonder, right? Now, the people who really speak like this, he's a one-hit wonder, he's a diva and all this stuff, that's screaming personal. The difference between the critique I gave with the Warriors and Steph Curry is I never got personal and took jabs and took shots at Steph Curry and said he wasn't a superstar, he doesn't deserve this, and called him a diva and all this. I didn't do all that, right? So that's how you know it's not personal for me. But when you start name calling someone, it's a little personal. And most of the times when this happened, it's a LeBron James fan who, for some reason, dislike Kyrie Irving. And for the sake of LeBron's legacy, they need the narrative of Kyrie not being a superstar because they need that narrative that LeBron could carry anybody to the finals. And they don't need no one saying that Kyrie Irving was this great player, right? They need for LeBron to have that part of his legacy stay whatever everybody believe it is. He carried bombs to the finals and whatever the case may be, right? So they need that. But he said that superstars show up in the finals. Did y'all not see Kyrie Irving play against the Warriors in the finals? Wasn't he the guy that hit the shot? Wasn't he the guy scoring 40 points with LeBron? Wasn't he the guy that was unstoppable? Right? Like, I think that's funny. I guess he's talking about this year's final with Luka. That's interesting. So forget everything that he did in the playoffs and in the regular season and then last year. His finals wasn't all that good, so he's not a superstar. So I asked him, I said, hey, well, look, you know LeBron had a horrible finals against Dallas, right? So what does that mean? If your definition is if superstars show up in the finals, and if you ever don't show up in the finals, you're not a superstar. I was like, hey, was LeBron a superstar? He had the nerve to say, oh, well, nah, LeBron wasn't a superstar in 2011. Trying to keep the lie alive, right? So anyway, that was dumb, right? so down toward the bottom, he said he wasn't a superstar in 2011. This is 2024 Princess, right? He has 4 championships, 4 finals MVP since that moment. Kyrie has been to 3 finals in Cleveland. He knew what to expect, and he choked this year. He's not a superstar. Kyrie is overrated role player. A role player. Yikes. Not even an all-star, role player at this point in his career. If he goes out there this year, balls out for the Mavs, and wins the championship, then he can redeem himself and regain his status. Okay, that's funny, right? So let's look at this role player, right? And I think someone said something about if you've never been in the MVP discussion, how can you be a superstar? If you never led a team, how can you be a superstar? And I'm like, you do know Kyrie Irving led Boston, right? This is his first year in Boston. If you look at the top left, this is official. We know the MVP is sponsored by Kia. So this is NBA.com's official page and the Kia MVP ladder. And this is in November when this was published. Remember, Kyrie Irving played about 60 games for Boston before he had to have knee surgery. Right? He played about 60 games. And then he went down after the All-Star game, right? All-Star break. He got a knee surgery, right? But 60 games. And this is him being in the MVP discussion. They had him number 2 behind Harden on the ladder. Right? They started the season off. Remember, they played Cleveland first game. In the first quarter, his co-star that they brought over there from who's Gordon Hayward, bought from Utah, went up for an alley-oop and almost tore his daggone leg off. His leg was just broken so many different places, right? So he loses co-star in game 1. They lose game 1 by 3 points. Then they lose game 2, so they're 0-2. And then they win 16 straight games. How many games is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 straight games. and 18 out of 20. Right? Kyrie Irving his leadership is working phenomenal. His second best player is a second-year player and Jaylen Brown. Third best player is a rookie, 19-year-old Jason Tatum. Right? Read the article. His MVP case, no Haywood, no Horford. He didn't have Horford or Haywood at the beginning of the season. Just a rookie and a second-year player. No Al Horford, no Gordon Haywood. No problem for the Celtics. New resident superstar. Oh, superstar. I like that word. New resident superstar Irving guiding his crew to their 10th consecutive win over Los Angeles. All right. Man, that's very interesting. That's very interesting. He was in the MVP discussion very early on. Very early on. And he stayed in the discussion, and Boston kept winning ball games, and they was like number 1 or 2 in the East. I don't know what they were in the whole NBA, but they was rocking and rolling, and then he had the surgery. After he had the surgery, Boston, that goes to that narrative, oh, Boston did better without him. Boston was 9-7 without Kyrie Irving after he had the surgery. That was 9-7. 2 games above 500. And then they go into the playoffs, and then they have that historic run. They got them to the conference finals in the game 7 against Cleveland, right? But there wasn't a lot of contenders in the East, right? So, but they get to the conference finals, and they had a good year. The next year, they had another good year, except they didn't get to the conference finals. They got to the second round. So instead of getting to the third round, they got to the second round. They swept somebody in the first round, and they lost in the second round. Cool. And then Kyrie Irving leaves. So the whole idea that he's never led a team to success, being the number 1, is false. He led Boston to success. A very good leader. What he was doing, first time being a leader on that level. And he had some stuff that he had to figure out with those young guys, because if you let Jason Tatum explain to you what happened with that Boston team, he said it had nothing to do with Kyrie Irving. It wasn't his fault, right? And you don't have to believe me. You can just listen to Jason Tatum talk about it.
I want to follow up on that second year, that 2018-2019 team, because there's a lot of speculation about that season, about that locker room. And you just said, I think, something to the effect of, we couldn't figure out. Why do you think that is? Why could that team never fully gel into what it could have been?
It was a combination of, Kyrie and Gordon coming back, and, they were, obviously we know what Kai's capable of, but, Gordon was coming off an All-Star the year before, and was and still is, a very, very good player. But then you have myself and JB and Terry that, naturally we wanted more. We were young, and, we knew what we just, accomplished and how close we got. We wanted more. We wanted to be, the guys. And everybody was, I think, a little, resistant of, instead of like, no, like we're all playing for the same goal. We're all going to get paid. We're all going to be all-stars or whatever. And I think life would just be better if we all win, like if we win a championship. And I think everybody played a part in that. I know I did for sure. As bad as I wanted to win, I wanted to be, all right, we all knew Kyle was the best player, but I wanted to be number 2. And I take responsibility for, some of those things. But just looking back on it, especially, the Warriors not even being full strength in the championship, of like, you can't help but think like that could have been us.
So you heard Jason Tatum explain it had nothing to do with Kyrie Irving, why that team didn't work. And the media was lying to everyone, and people perpetuate those lies because they said Kyrie was a bad leader. And Kyrie called LeBron and was like, I see what you mean. Now I apologize to you for being a knucklehead. What was going on with Boston? And Gordon Hayward just recently this year got on the podcast and explained the same thing that Jason Tatum explained. What really happened is that everyone knew Kyrie Irving was the number one. Everyone knew Kyrie was the best player. Everybody knew Kyrie was the leader. But Gordon Hayward was paid and brought over as a free agent to be his number two. They had a rookie Tatum, and they had a second-year Jaylen Brown who has yet to break out yet. He didn't have a phenomenal rookie season, right? So he was yet to break out. Marcus Smart, yet to break out. Terry Rozier, we didn't know what we had in him either. So Gordon Hayward was brought over to be the number two. Everyone else was supposed to be role players. What happened is Gordon Hayward got hurt first game of the season, and his injury was so bad, even when he came back the next year, he wasn't 100% ready. He couldn't defend. He didn't trust his leg. It was horrible. But since his college coach, Brad Stevens, was the coach of the Boston Celtics, he already knew that he had that starting spot coming back. So regardless what Brown and Tatum did at the small forward position and the shooting guard position, in the absence of Gordon Hayward, Brown went back to the bench. And then Tatum lost all his shots. Imagine getting 20 shots a game for Tatum and 15 shots a game for Brown. But then Gordon Hayward and Kyrie comes back. So you already know Kyrie getting the 20 shots. So Tatum shots go down to probably 10. And Brown shots go down even lower than that. And then you got Gordon Hayward out there who can't guard a parked car because his leg is all jacked up, getting all of Brown's minutes. And all of them felt like they should be the number two behind Kyrie. Brown, Hayward, Tatum, Marcus Smart, Terry Rozier, the Morris twins, and Al Horford. All of them felt like they was fighting for the number two spot. I want those minutes. I want that title. I want those shots. All of them. And what Kyrie did is had team meetings to try to get those young guys on the same page and let them know we can't win with this type of fighting. So the locker room was jacked up. Kyrie Irving was trying to get it straight. And that's why he called LeBron and said, I see what you was talking about now. This leadership thing is not easy. These young boys want, they want the rock. And they fighting each other for it. And it's messing the team up. Kyrie Irving got blamed for all of that. And he told Boston, because they were saying a whole bunch of stuff about Kyrie Irving in the news and all that stuff. And that's why he was like, look, man, I'm coming back here if y'all would have me. But people was already talking like, oh, man, what's going on with Boston? I like how they look under Tatum's leadership in the playoffs. So all that type of talk was going on. So Kyrie, felt unwanted a little bit and he ended up leaving. But getting back to the superstar thing, yes, he's a superstar. Yes, he has the talent. Yes, he has led a team to success as the number one. He meets my criteria. He's a superstar, right? It's just that simple for my criteria. If you got the talent, obviously, if you've led a team as the number one successfully, you meet my criteria, right? End of story, right? This is the last thing I show y'all because, since we love Steph so much, I want to know when Steph turned into a superstar. Because if you put the side by side up and you're looking at Kyrie on the top, you're looking at Steph on the bottom. And one thing I do know is Steph was good. He could shoot, but not good enough to go and get recruited by some of these big schools, Duke, Carolina, and stuff like that. He was from Carolina. He couldn't get no Duke love or no Carolina love, right? Kyrie's from Jersey. He got some Carolina love. Coach K went and checked on him. He shows up, number one prospect out of high school. So he's been a superstar since high school. A superstar in the making. He goes to Duke. He gets hurt. He only played like 8-9 games. He's so good in those 8-9 games and so unstoppable. He goes number one. Steph didn't go number one. His rookie year, averaged 19 points a game as a 19-year-old, wins rookie of the year. Steph Curry's rookie year, averaged 18 points a game, but he's 21 with 3 or 4 years of college. 21-year-old. And didn't get rookie of the year. Tyreek Evans got it. Right? So picture that. Second year, Kyrie's 20 years old, already an all-star. At 22 in his second year, not an all-star, Steph Curry. His third year, not an all-star. His fourth year, not an all-star. Not until his fifth year did he make all-star. Kyrie Irving was an all-star at 20 years old as a second-year player and was an all-star in his third year, fourth year, and the only reason why he didn't make all-star his fifth year because he only played 53 games. But right after that, all-star again at 24, all-star again at 25 and 26. And then in Brooklyn, when, 2020, of course, the vaccine happened, not an all-star, right? And the rest is history, right? So I'm trying to figure out when Kyrie Irving was never not a superstar. Steph averages about 27 points for his career. Kyrie averages 26 points for his career. They both are 50, 40, 90 guys. What I'm trying to show you is that it's a daggone shame that LeBron fans dislike him so much that they can't even give him credit for being a superstar. LeBron fans hate this man so much they can't even give him credit for being a superstar. I think that is hilarious. Hilarious. And then when Kyrie and Steph met face-to-face, head-to-head in the finals, that game one before Kyrie Irving dislocated his kneecap, Kyrie Irving was killing Steph on both ends of the floor. I couldn't wait for this opportunity to show y'all. And I was rooting against Kyrie. I wanted Steph to hand him. I wanted Steph to score 50 on him. Kyrie Irving was eating Steph lunch, offensively and defensively. And then he broke his kneecap. They went into overtime. Cleveland was probably about to pull that game out. I remember Steph went to the hole to get the game winner. Kyrie blocked that shot. The game winner that he tried to get going to the hole, he blocked that. He was killing Steph. But he got hurt game one. Came back the next year. They played on Christmas night. Was that? No, that wasn't that year. But he got hurt that game. Then the next year they came back. Kyrie killed Steph again and hit the game winner in his face. Boom, that's done. Then they get Kevin Durant. They play on Christmas Day. Then Kyrie hit the game winner in Clay's face. Like, Kyrie Irving been busting their tail for a long, long time, especially Steph. So if Steph is a superstar, and it took him 5 years to make All-Star, but Kyrie made it as a 20-year-old in his second year, sheesh. It ain't looking too good, man. But yeah, back to that poll. 86% of y'all got common sense. 14% of y'all might be LeBron fans. That's how I see it. Oh, man. All right. I do want to also get into this Anthony Edwards thing. Anthony Edwards. Man, this show, I'm probably going to be done in about 30 minutes, right? I'm going to open the phone lines up probably for maybe this topic, maybe the next one. I don't know. But Anthony Edwards, man, he put his foot in his mouth. I mean, he said a lot of stuff, man. He talk a lot. But he was doing an interview. I can't remember who he was doing the interview with, but his quote is at the bottom of the screen. It says, "I didn't watch it back." Well, this was when he was asked. Oh, it was Wall Street Journal he was speaking with, but they asked him about this era versus the other era. He said, "I didn't watch it back in the day," which he probably didn't, because I think he's under 25, which means he was born in 2000. At the, probably around 2000. I think he's like 23, 24. So he was born 2000, 2001. So Michael Jordan retired 98, came back in 2001, maybe 2, right? By the time Anthony Edwards started watching basketball, there wasn't no Michael Jordan in the league. So at the earliest, he probably could have seen some of the late Kobe, but mostly he's probably been watching KD, LeBron, and Steph. Right. So the way we look at Dr. J for my age group, right? I was born in the 80s. The way we look at Dr. J, yeah, we seen some highlights, but I didn't live through his career. So I wasn't able to hear what was being said at the barbershops at that time. I wasn't watching live games and hearing what the commentators were saying. I wasn't hearing what the sports shows were saying the next morning. I wasn't reading the paper to hear what they were saying. You get what I'm saying? Like that stuff, that type of stuff count. Like I can remember the chatter around the Bulls versus Blazers finals game. And I remember one of my uncles coming over and having that conversation with me. We was talking and he was telling me how Drexler was going to bust Michael Jordan's tail and how he was saying Jordan couldn't shoot threes, but Drexler could. And like, that was the talk. Like people were saying Jordan and Drexler was on the same level, but Drexler is a better shooter. So that's what makes it so special when you see in game one, Michael Jordan break the record for finals threes in the first half when he knocked down 6 straight threes. It wasn't 6 straight, but there was 6 threes in the first half and he was knocking them down. And he gave that famous shoulder shrug when he looked into the camera. Like that means something to you because you know that he had been hearing the chatter on how he couldn't shoot. And for him to come out and say, all right, y'all think I can't shoot? Here's 6 threes in the first half. That means something. If you didn't live through that, you could look at those 6 threes and just think it was just random. But no, he was challenged to that. We're going to let him shoot, and we don't think he can hit it. And everyone thought he couldn't shoot, and he hit 6 threes and made him pay. So that type of stuff means something. Like, dang, man, he stepped up like that. It means something. So when you don't live through that, you miss some of that. So he said, I didn't watch back in the day, so I can't speak on it, which is funny because that's exactly what he's going to do is speak on it. They say it was tougher back then than it is now. But I don't think anybody had skill back then. Michael Jordan was the only one that really had skill. You know what I mean? So that's why when they saw Kobe Bryant, they were like, oh my God. But now everyone has skill. So he was saying it was tougher back then based on what they say. He don't know though. But the thing is it wasn't tough because of skill. It was tough because of defensive skill, because of defensive physicality, because the league was tough and it was a tougher era where they let you defend, tough and physical. That's why it was tough. Not because people were skilled, which they were skilled, but guess what? If you're super skilled, but I'm allowed to physically hand check you with either my hand, and when they changed the rule where you had to use your forearm, that forearm still worked. You know, man, I remember saying Derek Harper picked somebody up full court, and it was forearm in his back all the way up the court. Like you had to turn your back to get past half court and walk it up and zigzag that way, zigzag that way, just to walk it up on Derek Harper. He was a great defender. So that's what made it tough. You can't just come down and just get in your bag on anybody, because my hand is in your. First of all, if you get close to me and you try to get by me, I can arm bar you to stop your momentum, and then take it back off. Or I can arm bar you, and if the ball is right there, boom, I'm gone. Can't do that now. They changed the rules, so you have to let someone get in their bag on you, and you bet not touch them, right? So that's why it was tougher. More skilled players don't make it tougher. Defense make it tougher, not skill. The name of the game is the score, and the opposing team is trying to stop you from scoring. If you handicap them and say you can't defend, then this is what this league is, what we're looking at. But if you don't handicap them and say you can be as tough on defense as they can be on offense, then, you know, it's a tougher league, right? But he said Michael Jordan was the only one with skill, but now everyone is skilled. Man, this is such an ignorant response. I mean, like, I can't believe he said that. And that just goes to show you how Oh man, I'm trying not to say that the IQ in this era is just. I mean, this is the era where the founding fathers of the NBA and the people who paved the way for you started getting disrespected. I mean, I was in the military, and we don't even disrespect the people that came before us. We don't think we were smarter than them. We don't think we did stuff better than them. Like everything that we use, every process that we use, they built it for us through trial and error. You got to respect them, people. I don't remember the era before this one disrespecting the era before them. All I remember is them paying homage. I don't remember anybody from the previous era going to the era before them and saying, I'm better than him or I'm the GOAT. Like all this started with this era. This LeBron, Steph, and KD era. I'm better than this dude. I'm the GOAT. They was trash. They were plumbers. Like, this is insane, the type of people we got, right? So what's funny about this is Isaiah Thomas, and I don't even know if this is real account because he ain't got no blue check, but I follow this on X, and it appears to be the real Isaiah. But he responded and said, propaganda works, so be careful what you choose to believe. So I guess he took offense to it. And what's funny about Isaiah taking offense to it is because Isaiah is one of the people, one of the catalysts who's made it okay to come at the previous era. Like the way that he talked about Michael Jordan selfishly because he got something against Michael Jordan, gave the younger guys permission to disrespect his era. Now he want to come and defend his era. Where you're the guy who opened up Pandora's box. If Michael Jordan was the number one guy for your era, the fact that you come out to disrespect him as often as you do, and you're of that era, has given everyone else permission to do it. Right? If someone comes at LeBron, KD, well, I just say LeBron, because I'm not even gonna say KD. And in the fans' eyes is on the same level as LeBron, right? So if someone from this era just start attacking LeBron the way Isaiah attacks MJ, and often as he does, that's going to give them permission to disrespect the whole era. If you disrespect the guy that's the king of this era, you might as well disrespect the whole era. So Isaiah made it okay for people to disrespect MJ because he was doing it, so I can disrespect the whole era. And that's now they coming out to Larry Bird, JJ Redick running his mouth talking about Larry Bird wasn't all this and that, Dominique Wilkins wasn't this, Bob Cousy wasn't this, they was playing against plumbers, and I'm talking about some of the most craziest things. And Isaiah, you can't fight back now because you're the one who opened up this Pandora's box. As he comes with more tweets, right? Because everyone's saying that the skill is in this area. It wasn't no skill in no era, which I disagree with, man. It was very highly skilled players, very, very skilled players, right? In the 90s, some in the 80s as well, but definitely the 90s and the early 2000s, very skilled players. And I agree with Isaiah. He said the only skill emphasized more is the three-point shot, creating the illusion that the athlete and skills have magically evolved into another athletic species, which is crazy because people will be like, oh man, they're faster, they jump higher, and they're stronger, which is not true. No, there's still nobody stronger than Wilt. There's still nobody faster than MJ. There's still nobody that jump higher than MJ. He still got the highest vertical. Like, the fact that we're just assuming that everyone's bigger, faster, and stronger is not true. It's not true at all. The only difference is they changed the rules to where you could see it more. You couldn't use your speed as much as you wanted to in that league. First and foremost, it was 4 people in the paint waiting on you. Your center and your power forward and whoever was guarding them was in the paint almost at all times. So when would you go run full speed to the rim? And then I'm hand checking you all the way up the court You're walking the ball up. I mean, everything that was changing was based on let's speed the pace up, let's open the floor up, let's shoot more threes, let's get more dunks and layups. Let's move the post man out. Let's make it a little soft on defense. You can't hand check, so you got freedom of movement. You can run off screens without getting touched. We're going to change it from 10 seconds to 8-second backcourt. So, you get up faster. Everything was changed. And Adam Silver admitted, I changed everything so a skilled player could get off. And he used Steph Curry as an example. A skilled player like Steph Curry is not good basketball if he can't showcase his skill. So a physical guy being able to come beat Steph up is not what I want to show on TV. I want to show Steph getting loose and tearing heads up. That's the type of basketball he wanted to show. At the bottom, I can argue today that the taller players are less skilled in the low post and in defensive play. I agree 100%. The big men, so the players are not more skilled today. What it is the big men have abandoned it. They've abandoned the low post skill and traded it for three-point shooting. That's the only thing. And we think just because big men are shooting threes that they're more skilled, but they don't have the low post skill anymore. The only players that got low post skill is Jokic and Embiid. And we don't even know how good their low post skill is because they're not playing against nobody worthy of guarding a real 7-footer like that. Rudy Gobert is the closest thing they can. It's the only 7-footer other than Embiid that can get on the floor enough to defend. There's nobody else. Other than that, Embiid is getting guarded by Bam Adebayo. He's 6'8", 6'9". Jokic getting guarded by freaking Sabonis, the little one. He's 6'8". Jokic getting guarded by Draymond. Golden State Warriors don't even have a real center. They bring in Looney sometime. He's 6'9". But for the most part, it's 6'6", 6'7" Draymond Green trying to guard Jokic because he's tough enough to do it. They starting Kuminga at power forward. He gets switched off. He got to guard Jokic. So I don't even know how good the centers that we think are good. I don't even know how good they are on the post because ain't nobody guarding them. Sengun he do got low post skill. Yeah, I give you that. Right, but other than them three, the best one after that might be freaking Zubac, and he can't even stay on the floor alone because he's too big. They got to take him out and go small. Yeah, so it's crazy just because they traded in the low post skill for 3-point shooting. We think that they're more skilled, and then the wing players, there's nothing that they're doing now that they wasn't already doing. We had shooters as good as Steph Curry as 3-point shooters. Mark Price was one of them. Mahmoud was one of them. But they just couldn't shoot threes that often because they played the game from the inside out. Threes was just not, part of the offense to just come down and start jacking them up. Right? Handling the ball. We had ball handlers. We had Stevie Francis. Lord have mercy, his handle was nice. And then he jumped at the gym like Ja Morant. Steve Francis was Ja Morant before Ja Morant, but with a better jump shot and a tighter handle and probably with a higher vertical, right? We had Stevie Francis. We had Nick Van Exel, Nick the Quick, handles crazy. We had Baron Davis, handles crazy, jumping out the gym, right? So we've had guys jumping out of the gym from the point guard position, and we had people with tight handles. We've even had big men that could pass and shoot threes. But guess what you don't need your big man to do if you got a point guard that pass? You don't need him to pass. You need him to post up. Right? That's why all the dope players are there. Like we've had skill. So to say MJ was the only skilled one, I'm not even going to use the examples of like the obvious people. Like we know the most skilled center in history is Hakeem. We know the most skilled power forward in history is Tim Duncan and Kevin McHale. Kevin McHale taught Kevin Garnett his post moves, right? We know the most skilled small forward ever. I might get it to KD. So we got a new school in there. I think it might have been Bird, But I'm okay with it being Bird or KD. Shooting guard, most skilled shooting guard ever. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. And the most skilled point guard ever. I might get at the Kyrie. So we got two. If we make a starting five of the most skilled guys by position, 3 of them coming from the 90s. 3 of them coming from the 90s. A big man that can shoot threes and post up and play defense, Rasheed Wallace. I mean, like it's crazy that Ant-Man would even say that, right? And I got some footage of some of these dudes. So I'm not gonna use the Hall of Famers. I'm gonna use the guys that y'all probably don't even know. Don't even know about. This Steve Francis in his bag. This is Steve Francis in his bag, putting Jason Terry on his butt, making him fall. You know what I mean? That is ridiculous. What's after that? Allen Houston. Look at him. Look how many dribbles hit. One dribble. That's all you need. Look how many people is in the paint. One dribble. Look at, like, you can't go get layups. You can't run full speed and get layups with a high screen and roll, right? That ain't how they played, right? This is look at that work. Everything was, look at this. How many dribbles? One dribble and a finger roll. One dribble. No screen. 1, 2, pull up. He's not even getting he's not even getting his feet wet with paint. He's not even getting in the paint. No dribbles, pull up. Off a screen. You get what I'm saying? Like, one dribble pull-ups was good work. One. Look at that. And the fader. Got Rick Fox on him again. Look at that. Like, this is skill. It takes more skill to score in a phone booth than it do to score in a huge parking lot. Like, he's in a phone booth and he got fouled on that 3, moving without the ball. Like, he had the skill to do it in the post. That's Kobe. Come here. I'm giving Kobe work. He's got the skill to do it with the ball, without the ball, in the post, moving with, off a screen, mid-range, 3-point, and in the paint. Look, I mean, he don't even need to dribble the ball, and he's not calling for no screen. Look at that. Moving without the ball, like Reggie. So he got the skill to move without the ball like Reggie and Rip Hamilton. He got the skill to get in the post like Michael Jordan and hit the mid-range. He's got dribble pull-up work, and he's got 3-point work like a real shooter, like Dale Curry or Reggie or something like that. Nick the Quick. If Nick the Quick was in the league right now, he would be a top 3-point guard in the league. I would still have SGA over him. I would probably still have Steph over him. I would probably still have Kyrie over him. But after that, it'd be Nick the Quick. He'd be a top 5-point guard. He'd be number 4. I'll probably put De'Aaron Fox at 5. Or because De'Aaron Fox is bigger, I'll probably put Fox at 4 and Nick the Quick at 5. But that's how good he is. But Michael Jordan was the only skilled one. Come on, man. Like, this is crazy work. Nick the Quick, right? Look at Derek Coleman. He's big enough and powerful enough to dunk on Shaq and post up. But also, look at it. He dunking on Shaq. Derek Coleman. But agile enough to do a reverse like that, finish on the other end, can pass like Chris Webber. Look at that. A behind the legs pull up. Right? Power dunking. Watch him handle the ball. Look at this. He go get this. This is a step back. A step back, almost a 3. That's a step back jump shot. There's handling the ball. Nice pass. The dimes. Like, this is crazy. This man said there was nobody else with skill but MJ. Look how he handled the ball. Behind the back. He handled the ball like a guard. He handled the ball better than Lamar Odom. And a pull up. And then the pull up, then the up and under. Like, what didn't he have? Look at this, up and under like Duncan. What didn't he have? The only thing that got in his way is honey buns. Watch him handle the ball off this rebound. Watch him handle the ball. Guard come and try to reach up. Nope. All the way. And then the pass. Like, come on, man. This is crazy. Then we can go to foreigners because some people think here's Dragon Petrick just going at MJ. Some people think that these are the best foreigners we've seen, the best Europeans. No. Petrovic was a problem. Look at him. Hands down, man down, Jordan. Petrovic was a problem behind the back. The passing, the shooting, the toughness. Like we've even had dope European players. Right? Those are wing guys. If I was to make a all European team, I would have Arvydas Sabonis at my center. I would have Dirk as my power forward. I would have Dragon Petrovic at my 3 guard. I would have Ginobili. Here, speaking of Ginobili, here's a dude that's left-handed that play like Ginobili. Valens Monachunas, whatever his name is. Nasty. Y'all don't even know about these people because guess why y'all didn't hear these names? Because more athletic, bigger, stronger, tougher American players was bullying them. Like they could be so good and so skilled, but the physicality, you would not even see how good and skilled they were because of the physicality. We would wear them down, especially the big men like Vlade Divac and all them, Dino Roger. We would wear them down with physicality and trash talk and intimidation and all that stuff, man. And eventually, you just didn't see how great they were. But when you change the rules to where a guy like that can cook everybody, open floor, you can't touch them and all this stuff, it looks different. And we got somebody like Luka that looked like he's better than Dragon Petrovic, but he's really not. Here's Dino Roger, a 6'11" power forward that was just phenomenal. This was when he first got to Boston when he was a little overweight. When he lost weight, he was even better. Low post moves, phenomenal. This is what Jokic would have been if he played in the 90s. Nobody was going to let Jokic run point in the 90s, so you never would have he never would have been averaging 8 assists. What point guard that's supposed to make his money running the offense is going to let a center get all the assists? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. This is Dino Roger. Y'all didn't even know about Dino Roger. See, if you was my age watching these games, you would have known how good Dino Roger was. Dino was killing. Looking just like Jokic's little fat self out there. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is Dino, right? And then we can get to some more. Like Dino is cooking, man. Dino can hoop. But my favorite big man European center of all time is Arvydas Sabonis, right? Arvydas Sabonis. Let's get to Arvydas real quick. There's Arvydas. Took Shaq to the hole. Now, this is what's unique about Arvydas. Arvydas got drafted in 86. He's Lithuania, right? His son is in the league now, Domantas Sabonis. That's his son. This is the daddy. The way you see him now is 10 years after he got drafted, right? He got drafted in 86. He didn't get to the NBA till 96, right? So now, after several knee surgery, like his knees were gone. Look at how good this dude passed. Everybody's smiling. Oh, we've never seen a guy pass like Jokic. Yes, we have. Arvydas passed like that. Vlade Divac passed like that. Chris Webber passes like that. There's a lot of big men that can pass like that, right? So Arvydas, I think, is a better center than Jokic. He can shoot better. He posts better. He plays defense better. He passes better. He just does everything better than Jokic. Look at that stroke. Pow. It's crazy, right? But this is him after he ain't got no knee. He can't even jump no more. But he was a slim, real athlete when he first got drafted. He was 22, 1986 he got drafted. But which is another thing that's kind of interesting because they gave that graphic during the Olympics this year when it was like that this Olympic team played against more NBA players than the Dream Team. And what you don't remember about what was going on in the 90s is you could draft a player from overseas, but it took years for him to get cleared to come over here and play. So it was people getting drafted and you wouldn't see them for 6, 7, 8 years. So that's what happened with Arvydas. He got drafted in 86. He didn't get to Portland until 96. Right. By the time he got to Portland, he ain't had no knees no more, and he had put on a lot of weight, right? But he was still effective and still phenomenal with not being able to run as fast and without being able to jump as high and all that stuff, man. And he was the only person I ever seen that could deal with the physicality of Shaq, but he just couldn't move lateral enough if Shaq wanted to do that. But as far as Shaq trying to go through his chest and dunk on him, that wasn't happening. Shaq couldn't move this dude, man. He was trying. He did like Arvydas did a better job than Yao Ming on Shaq did. But let's see how Arvydas looked when he first got drafted. It's gonna show him before he got hurt. This is Arvydas. That's Arvydas before he got hurt. Look at him. Look how high he get on his dunk and then shatter the glass. This dude did a drop step and had his head at the rim and shattered the glass. Look how slim he is. Imagine if Portland would have got that guy. Do it. He don't have no knee brace on. He moves better. He runs faster. Imagine if they get that guy in Portland. Look how he dunking it. Lord have mercy. Ain't no way. Ain't no way you go say that the most skilled players is now and not in the 90s. The 90s had great skilled players in the 90s for sure. Right. So Anthony Edwards, man, I'm sorry, bro. You was wrong on this one. You gotta do more research. Yeah. Super chat. Nino Jackson, thanks for the super chat, brother. Woodsman Ballin, LeBron tried to recruit Wade, Bosh, and Melo. All of them were in the top 5 of his draft class. That's a fact. Caller from North Carolina.
What's up, Mel?
What's up?
This Thomas. You taking calls?
Yeah, let's open the phone lines up. Yeah, let me get this last super chat. Calvin Dickinson, $5 super chat. Kevin Durant is elite, but what happened with Brooklyn Nets? He definitely had 2 elite scorers. Was it coaching or leadership? No, it was injury. I mean, you seen what happened to Kyrie Irving. They was up 2-0 on the Milwaukee Bucks, and everybody got hurt except Kevin Durant. Even Blake couldn't help him. But yeah, that's what happened. But yeah, go ahead, brother.
Okay, how's it going, man?
I'm good, man. Hanging in there.
Oh, all right. I just happened to be up late last night, tonight, and caught you. And, one thing you said that was everything you saying is on point, man. You know, I'm 60 years old. I'm an old school basketball head. I love everything about basketball. And everything you're saying is fine. But this one thing I wanted to point out that people really talk about. I hear them say that the players overseas now have caught up to the players now. So the gap is, there's not so much of a gap. If what they're saying is true, then that means that the players overseas had closed the gap because the guys over here hadn't got better.
Right.
The reason why, because it's always we always supposed to maintain a gap. If that's true, if the players, if they're saying Anthony Edwards think the players in nowadays in the NBA are so much better than the players before, then that means that there still ought to be a gap between the players now and then.
Correct.
Now, I don't think that there was much of a gap. I don't buy into the theory that the players overseas have gotten better. There's a lot of factors. But one thing overseas, they had a trapezoid lane, which made the big men, they were always skilled overseas. The big men had to have outside moves because they couldn't stand the paint because of the trapezoid lane. Now, the reason why the big men It was hard for them to play the guys from overseas. It was hard for them to come to the NBA because of what you said, the physicality of the league. That was one of the things that they had to take out of the league in order for the guys overseas to come over here in abundance. Now you take a guy like Sabonis, a guy like Drazen, and Dino Raja, like you show, those guys can handle the physicality over here so they can play over here. I think that was, but far as skill and being able to shoot and things like that, those guys always been able to shoot.
Correct.
Now they talking about how many pro players were over there and stuff like that. No, that's not even the truth either. I played with a lot of back then. I'm from Kinston, matter of fact, and I think you might have heard of Kinston, North Carolina.
I played a team in Kinston. I'll tell you about it later on, but go ahead.
Okay. The reason why I brought that up because you know how many NBA players came from this small town.
Jerry Stackhouse, his little cousin.
That's right. And I used to school him too. I used to school him. Donald Ingram's father, Brandon Ingram's father, Donald.
Correct.
And stuff like that. People say they never seen nobody could shoot like Curry and stuff like that. Well, Donald used to shoot better than Curry. Donald was the type person that the soon he come across half court, you had to be on him because he will pull the shoot. The reason why Donald couldn't make it to the NBA was because Donald couldn't handle the physicality. That was the factor. It was initiation when you came into the NBA. Correct. I don't care how much skill you had in.
Correct.
You wasn't going to get called from the referees. They broke you in. You had to prove that you could handle the physicality. I know. So all the guys who couldn't the guy who played point guard with Lynn Byers, Keith Gatlin, I played against him, played with him. Keith went overseas, played for Mike D'Antoni for 8 years. They won 8 straight championships over there. So all the guys who couldn't make the physicality of the league, think about this. There wasn't a D-League for them to fall on. Those guys went overseas.
You know my favorite point guard in college of all time could not handle the physicality. You know who it was?
Who was that?
Randolph Childress.
Oh man, what you talking about?
Oh my God, man!
What you talking about?
I mean, how
the Tim Duncan show?
Yeah, exactly.
It was the Randolph Childress show.
Imagine being on a team with Tim Duncan and you're the guy. That's how good Randolph was.
What are you talking about? And think about what Randolph Childress would do in the league right now.
Oh my God, man!
Now, a lot of factors. This is why I said these guys talk. Like you said, everything you said is on point, man. I agree with you 1,000%. Think about what would happen if there wasn't no restricted circle back then. Back then, like you said, the big men can stay in the lane. There were always 4 people in the lane. You just couldn't take off. That's what made it so impressive what Jordan was doing, because he didn't care whether you were in the lane or not. He was going to dunk on top of you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He went over you. When you went to your peak jump, you coming down, he's still going up. You know, he just did. These guys got hops. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Michael Jordan had air. You know, it's different.
Yeah.
Like Kobe. Kobe can go up in the air and he reacts to what you do. He can do something else. But Jordan did it better than anyone. That's why he was such a great finisher. You know, so Anthony Edwards and stuff like that. He's part of this new generation that has the way he sees things, his worldview, all that is tied into basketball in this generation that we're in right now.
Yeah.
Because everything that they getting it. They don't even sit down and watch whole games like we used to do. That's all we did.
No, they don't, man. Like they're not studying history either, man. Like like that. The farthest they go is probably Kobe. That's the farthest they go. Well, I don't even think these new guys watching Kobe. They're watching KD and Paul George. The new guys that are 6'5", 6'6", 6'7" with long arms. Brandon Miller, either Carmelo Anthony's son. Like these guys that are going to be 6'7" guys in the pro. They're watching Paul George.
That's right.
They're not even going
That's
back.
right.
Like Michael Jordan said that he studied David Thompson. He said that he studied Dr. J. He said he studied big guards in the post like Oscar. Like he studied like 5 or 6 different guards. Jerry West.
I didn't want to interrupt you, but I wanted to add something to what you're saying right now, just for you to think about. Because I'm going on 60 years old. You're not quite as old as I am, but I understand you still back in that era where you did the same thing that they did. Mm-hmm. We knew the history of the game.
Yeah,
we loved the game. We watched all the games. We know who Pistol Pete is. You talk about skilled guys.
Yeah.
Pistol Pete, one of the most skilled guys ever done it.
Correct.
You know, his daddy used to drive down the highway on 50 miles an hour and have him dribbling the basketball on the asphalt. Which one of these guys can do something like that? These guys were magicians. But like you said, because of the physicality, all that skill couldn't show because guys were able to armbar you, knock you out of the air. You had to get broken into as a rookie. Your rookie season was your hardest season in the NBA.
Last thing before I let you go, you brought that up, right? You brought up a rookie getting initiated and meeting that physicality. Is that what you seeing? What they was doing in the WNBA with Caitlin Clark, but the media has. That's
exactly what's happening.
Yeah,
it's no different. But because of this Caitlin Clark, and she's the darling of the league, they exploiting it. But anyone that come in with that type of height back then would get tested just like Caitlin. That's exactly what's happening to her. Yeah. And this is why I'm saying this is a new generation because they lack the history of the game. They think they seeing something new. Man, we've seen this and done that. Been there, done that. You talk, and one other, just before I let you go, there's just one thing I want to say too. You said something also that you didn't have to go to the Hall of Famers to find skilled guys. Steve Francis was a beast. Mm-hmm. You know, there you talk about guys like Glenn Robinson. You talk about guys like Grant Hill. Yep. You know, you talk even go further back from the expansion of the Dallas Mavericks when they had guys like Jimmy Jackson and all these guys right here. These were some serious, and they was big guys, you know, who could handle the physicality. Yep. These guys right here, they long, lanky, 7 feet, shooting jumpers and all that. People say, "Oh, that look good," because Wembanyama was shooting jumpers, but he would serve his team a whole lot better if he in the post using that 7'6", and he's not that good doing that, especially not against them. The other thing, the last thing, there was only 2 other things I want to say to you. One, real quick, skill also has been able to use the glass. How many guys shoot off the glass at an angle if they can't get all the way to the hoop? They don't even really have an in-between game because they ain't got the skill level to understand how to score in the middle of traffic. Jordan
and how much space do they need, and how many dribbles do they need, and how many screens do they need just to get?
Man,
come on,
man. To get their shot off, man, they sit there and dance, and then not only just the dribbles they take, but then they take 4 steps after they finish dribbling, and them steps are backwards. I remember back in the day, that was the rule of the game, is that you once you take them 2 steps, them 2 steps have to be forward towards the hoop. That was the rule. You couldn't take 2 steps backwards. You know, you had to be going towards the hoop.
And as soon as they see a good defender, I don't know what they're doing. Call him for that screen. Come get him off me. Screen.
Everything is about the high pick and roll. Yeah. You know, these guys, they have to learn how to score in a congested area, and it takes skill to learn how to do that. The last thing I want to say is that I see what Anthony Edwards, all the high jumping big dudes can do, but the last time I checked, the 3 guys that's always, for the last 3 or 4 years, that's always in the conversation for MVP or best player in the league, it's Giannis, it's Embiid, and the Joker. which means that even though the Joker is slow and don't jump high, he's killing them. And they don't understand that it's his skill. If a person doesn't have athleticism and he playing in that league, he got to be skilled in order to be doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
That's what skill is. These guys are born with talent. They come out the womb jumping high and everything and think that's skill. That's not skill. Skill is when you take that talent. Talent is God-given ability. That's what Anthony Edwards and all them have. They don't even, they think they can handle the ball and say, I got ball handling skills, but 80% of the time you carry in the basketball.
Correct.
And that will be called back then.
Correct.
Not now.
Correct.
And they don't understand that you have to dribble the ball. They just don't get it, Mel. That's my point. And I just want to say that I got it off my chest and stuff like that, man. But I was sitting there watching your show, watching you say this, and everything you say is on point, bro.
Yeah.
So keep up the good work and stuff like that. And just I guess it's an uphill battle, just like everything. You got Trump supporters nowadays. They believe in Trump and stuff. But they believe if you can fool them and they buy Donald Trump, they can buy LeBron James too. I'm just telling you, that's what type of generation you in.
Yeah.
So it has nothing to do with basketball. It's that these guys are buying into the disinformation campaigns, whether it's basketball, politics, or whatever, and stuff like that. So just keep up the good work, Mel, and stuff like that, and I'll be checking in with you from time to time. I love your show, bro. Take care now.
Appreciate
and
it,
be
bro.
blessed.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, so the thing, and Tyson Thomas, this, I left this comment up there because you're right. Was it 88 or 86? I can't remember which Olympic it was, but yeah, 88. Yeah, they won gold. Like, this dude won gold. He led a team to gold. This is part of the reason why Dream Team had to happen in 92. You know what I mean? Like, this dude was killing. And it was definitely a good call. So another thing I wanted to just mention about let me get this call. Caller from California. Who's this?
What's up, man? This is Myron.
Myron, all right,
hey, man.
Hold on real quick. Let me say this one thing to everybody that's listening.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
So the last thing I will say before I let the caller go is that the way that Adam Silver wanted to change the defense, and maybe David Stern started wanting to do it, but Adam Silver actually made the change where he was allowing more scoring and less defense, right? The weird thing about that is the stats, if you change the way defense is played, the stats, you got to make an adjustment in your head, because think of it this way. Imagine if I just make a rule change in boxing to where you can't block a punch with your hands anymore. You gotta dodge it with you gotta bob and weave. You can't use your hands to block the punch. This is your defense. I'm taking that away from you because I want more head punches for excitement. I want more knockouts. Like, imagine if I changed the rule for more knockouts, right? That's basically what the basketball commissioner did. I'm changing the defense for more points, because I feel like if we get more points, we'll get more people watching. So imagine you can't block anymore. You can't use this for defense. You have to just bob and weave, right? And then someone plays in that era or fights in that era for 10 plus years, and we're sitting here talking about how many knockouts he got versus how many knockouts Muhammad Ali got, and we're trying to say he's better. And imagine if that happened and you still don't have more knockouts than Ali. That's basically what's going on with this era. We get a tougher era of defense, and Michael Jordan averaging 30 plus points in that tougher era. And then we get a LeBron in this era where we're allowing them to score, and Michael Jordan still averaged more points than you and still won more rings than you. How are we even having a debate on someone in this era being better than Michael Jordan? It's not even possible. All right, go ahead, caller.
Man, you cooking, man. Hey, I just want to say, man, thank you for saying what you was talking about earlier about the generation stripping down the legacy of the NBA in general. I really think is disrespectful And I think it's kind of short-sighted. I think, you know, in some years down the line, a lot of people are going to regret saying the things that they said. Anthony Edwards, prime example, like he's going to, you know, they're always going to be talking about this for the rest of his career just because he's such a high-profile player. And, you know, and that just lacks of not knowing your history. I mean, the best look back at, you know, if you talk about football or basketball, whatever sport, if you consider yourself the great, one of the greats, you got to see the greats, you know, do their thing. And so I just felt that you were spot on by highlighting that. And I think it's ushered by, you know, today's superstars in basketball trying to promote themselves. But I think when we look at basketball with our eyes, we see the truth. And then lastly, I just want to say, I actually have a question. Because people talk a lot about Steph Curry being the best point guard ever. I think he's one of the best players ever, like all around. One of the best point guards ever, but he's not a true point guard in a point guard sense. And so my question to you is, because I mean, there's no way Magic could be erased from that pantheon of the GOAT point guard. My question to you, Mel, is let's just say hypothetically, and I hate these hypotheticals, but if you take Magic, pull Bron off the starting lineup, and have him play the point guard, right? And I think no matter who is the second guard, whether it's Curry or or whoever, Magic is playing that point guard. I think Team USA wins by a comfortable margin. Like it's not even close because Magic knows how to put everybody in their spots. He's not thinking about himself. He's thinking about his team and getting everybody in rhythm, and he doesn't turn over the ball. And so that's the one thing that people overlook when they overlook Magic is this dude's assist turnover ratio is crazy. Yeah. And so he did all those razzle dazzle passes and stuff without turning over the ball that much. And so I think if he had the best players in the world, which is in the United States, there's no way he wouldn't utilize the tools in his tool shed. And I think that I think it's complete cap for people to say that the world is caught up when one, we're not putting our best lineups up, out there at all times, and we're mismanaging our lineups at the same time. So we're handicapping ourselves in a way. And so I would never say, put it this way, if the women are still blowing their players out, we should be too. Why aren't we? It's because we're not managing our teams right. We're not putting our best players out there, and we're not playing the right kind of style. And so that's all I got to say.
No, I agree with you 100% on that last part. We're not playing the right style of offense. You know what I mean? Like our league is soft. Our league don't allow physical defense, and then we got to get used to it during the Olympic play. So, that's an adjustment. And then, I mean, running the offense the way we run offense, like high screen and roll, and that's it. Like when you look at the offense that Popovich run when he had his horses, when he had Duncan and Parker and Ginobili and all that stuff, that's great offense. I even give credit to Steve Kerr for the offense they run. I give credit to Denver for the offense they run. But other than that, and Miami with Eric Spoelstra. But other than that, who's running good offense? Maybe Sacramento with Mike Brown, maybe. But other than that, nobody's running good offense. It's high screen and roll everywhere. Dallas got the worst offense ever. Give the ball to my best player, spread the floor, high screen and roll, and then my second star, you just got to find 30 points somewhere. I don't know how. We're not gonna call no plays for you. You got to find 30 points, but we got to make sure Luka get his points. It's the same thing that Harden was doing in Houston. Same thing LeBron has been doing. Get the ball to our best player, high screen and roll. Let him find all the shooters. And my second best player, in order for us to win, you got to go find 25 points. That's horrible. That's why with the Olympics, the only player that really looked good was LeBron and one other guy that just so happened to be able to find 20-something points. Sometimes it was Edwards, sometimes it was Steph, sometimes it was KD, but it was always just one other person and LeBron.
Absolutely. And I mean, I have to say, man, I think I give you guys props, man, on that. I can't even watch TV no more because no one's really being objective. And so I'm glad that you guys have that platform and you have a lot of different cats that come on your platform and have different points of views. And but I just feel like this is the most objective as far as sports analysis that's out there, man. So I just want to give y'all props.
Oh, man, that's dope, man. I appreciate that, man.
All right, man. Peace.
All right, thanks. Yeah, that's do a late show and get a compliment, man. I like that. That's dope. We can take one more phone call before I move to this next topic, the last topic. This is a long stream, man. Y'all, somebody should cash out me or throw a super chat or something. I'm usually done in an hour and a half. This is daggone going on 3 hours, and y'all getting a bonus segment. Let's get to this last segment, right? Tank the singer was on Stephen A. Smith's show, and believe it or not, man, he has LeBron as his GOAT, and he tried to explain why he got LeBron as his GOAT, how he described it was kind of interesting. It kind of goes along with what we just got finished talking about the other eras, but he seems to think that there were no monsters in Jordan's era except Jordan. Kind of the same thing what Edward said, but Edward said Jordan was the only one with skill. I don't know how this became a cliche where we just thought Jordan was just the only guy that was good and he was ahead of his time and nobody else was like that but him, and he was just a guy amongst normal mortals just out there killing. But now they say that LeBron is playing against all these other guys. Like he's a monster, and there's several other monsters on the court with him. And I guess it makes his era harder. Listen to what he said.
Your wheelhouse is the music thing. My wheelhouse is the basketball thing. LeBron is your GOAT. Other than the argument of longevity, what you got?
Longevity is not just in other than longevity. Longevity is part of the conversation. There are many people who have done things for a long time. They've arrived, they've learned, they've grown, they've peaked, and then they've descended. We are watching a man who arrived, learned, grew, and his ascension has stayed at a level that we've never seen before. We have not seen a descension from LeBron James.
I agree with that, but even at his greatest, he wasn't the greatness of Michael Jordan as his greatness. You better watch your mouth right now, Tank. You better stop it.
Let me help you with that.
Please do. Please try.
There comes a time when an athlete is so far ahead of his time and so much better than everyone else that we just have to grade them differently, right? And so Michael Jordan, when Michael Jordan came around, was the only Michael Jordan.
That's right.
He was the only man,
that's right,
the only human capable of
Say
doing
it again. That's
what
right.
he was doing.
That's right.
Right? And
yes.
We can go down the list of people who were like that, from Floyd Mayweather to Roy Jones to Tiger Woods. They were so far ahead in their space. But what happened is, as they are the blueprint, like I say about Michael Jackson, everyone started learning from that blueprint. And everyone started evolving from that blueprint. So as Michael Jordan was a monster among men, LeBron James is a monster among monsters.
Oh, I'm gonna stop it there. So this is the issue with saying that Michael Jordan was a monster among men. He was the only one of his kind. He was the only monster. Everyone else was men, and he was just out there just having his way, right? Here's the issue with that. What that means is that, first of all, that's not true. Like, Michael Jordan was a lot better than a lot of people because he was a freak athlete who also was very highly technically sound. Like, most freak athletes did not go and work on their technical. They didn't become technicians and freak athletes. Like you was one or the other. Like if you wasn't athletic like Jokic, then you would go and work on all the technique. If you wasn't athletic like Tim Duncan, you would go work on all the technique. But ever so often, you'll find a freak athlete like Hakeem, who's also technically sound. You'll find a freak athlete like Garnett, who's also technically sound. You'll find a freak athlete like Michael Jordan, who's also the most technically sound guy at his position. That happens ever so often. Not a lot. Not even in boxing. Like Mayweather wasn't a huge Mike Tyson, Ali type dude. So his technicality is what he won with. You can't hit me. I can hit you. I'm faster than you. I got good footwork. I have all the techniques that I need as a boxer, right? That's what he was. Mayweather, right? Mike Tyson, I'm going to intimidate you, and I got knockout power. Deontay Wilder, all I can do is knock people out. I got a one-hitter quitter. I ain't got no boxing technique, right? So, LeBron, I'm a super athlete. I'm 6'9", I'm 270. I'm fast like a guard. I can survive off that. I don't have to be technically sound. Shaq, I don't have to be that technically sound. I'm bigger than all of y'all, right? But ever so often, imagine if Shaq had Hakeem Olajuwon's technical skill in the post. That's what Michael Jordan was. I'm more athletic than everybody, and I'm more technically sound than everybody. Who does that? When have you seen Michael Vick be as good of quarterback throwing the ball as Peyton Manning? Imagine getting that in one guy. Imagine have Vic 4.2 speed with Peyton Manning's football IQ and his throwing accuracy and all that stuff, or Tom Brady's, right? You don't get that in one dude, and that's what you got with Jordan. You got all of that in one dude, right? So that's what made him above and beyond everybody else. But he wasn't the only freak athlete, and he wasn't the only technically sound athlete. But he was the only one who was the best freak and the best technically sound, and one guy who actually did it on both ends of the floor. That's what made Mike, right? So there was others that was athletic. There was others that was technically sound. That goes without saying, right? But what Tank is describing is that Michael Jordan made himself set so far apart from everyone else that he was head and shoulders above them. Okay. Well, imagine if Michael Jordan was in this era. It wouldn't be the same Michael Jordan that was in the 90s. He would do whatever he needed to do to be more technically sound than everybody in this era as well. And he's the same freak athlete, so he would be just as freaky. I mean, he's still a freak athlete with the highest vertical and 4.4 speed and huge hands the size of a 7-foot center. Like, he still got all of that. So he would be working harder than everyone in this league to be technically sound even more now. So imagine what Michael Jordan would look like in this era. Anybody who had Michael Jordan's mentality in this era would be unreal. You thought 90s Mike and 80s Mike was crazy. 2020 Mike would be unreal. It'd be above and beyond what we're seeing now. So it would be Mike with the 3-point shot. Imagine that is crazy. So that's what they don't think about. If you take Mike from there to here, he's going to take the same gap that he has between the people that he was playing against in the 90s. He'll have the same gap now. He would have the same gap now. I mean, I think that's common sense.
There's more than Godzilla. There's more than King Kong. You understand what I'm saying?
Really?
There's so
really?
monsters.
Excuse me. I could make a legitimate argument. What's your definition of monsters? Because let me tell you something right now. I'm not talking about athleticism. I'm not talking about individual prowess. You can jump out of the gym. You've got lightning quick speed. I'm talking about overall your results. Do you realize that there's a legitimate argument? There's been and I'm not saying because there were times when I thought that LeBron James was the best player on the planet. But do you understand there have been times that for the better part of LeBron James' career, there was always a debate about who was better. Whether it was Kobe, whether it was KD, whomever, there was always a debate. With Michael Jordan, there was no debate. None. Nine-time all defensive player first team, 10-time scoring champion, 6 championships, unblemished in the NBA Finals, 6 Finals MVPs. That's what I'm talking about, Tank. You can't compete with that.
He was that much better
than
those people in that generation. He was the first. He is the blueprint. But now you have Steph, you have KD,
yes.
you have James Harden,
okay.
You have the Greek the Freak,
yep.
You have Anthony Davis, you have Embiid, you have Devin Booker,
yeah.
You have Jason Tatum, You have the Joker.
Yes.
The list goes on. These are monsters. And LeBron is shining above amongst these monsters who would go back in time and demolish the 80s and 90s.
2 points. He named all those guys as monsters, and he's acting like there's no equal monsters in the 90s. Like he didn't name David Robinson or King or Charles Barkley or Karl Malone or Glenn Rice or Reggie Miller. He didn't name any of those dudes. Kobe, Shaq, David Robinson, Tim Duncan. He's not naming those guys. They existed as well, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing is LeBron James played with most of his monsters. Imagine trying to figure out, man, who is the best monster, Jason or Freddie? And you feel like you know what? Let's go figure out who the best monster is. And you find out Jason and Freddie done teamed up and they fighting a regular dude. Half the monsters he named LeBron played with. Either he played with him or he tried to play with him. So imagine, Jason Terry. Imagine saying Jason Terry beat Freddie, Jason, and Chucky. All 3 monsters, but Jason Terry beat you. Man, come on. How you gonna name all these monsters? But LeBron wanted to play with all the monsters, man. He didn't go and defeat the monsters and show you which one was the biggest monster. How he shining amongst all the monsters, and Steph got 4 rings out of this era. Kobe got 5. Tim Duncan got 5. Sheesh. Tony Parker was a monster. Iguodala, monster. Like, this is crazy. I thought that was unique, though. Let's get to these super chats, though. And I appreciate y'all with the super chats for sure. Nino Jackson said, double salute, man. I appreciate it. Taco Master, I appreciate it. It's the media. That's 70% of LeBron's hype. That's true. $10 super chat. Benny, thank you. Tank is straight up trolling. Yeah, he trolling. Ask Tank Hussein, but him or Luther. Now think of Jordan and LeBron. Hey, you know what? It makes sense because Tank, he sold decent records. He was good, but, he teamed up with Genuine and Tyrese to make a group. So he got his own big 3. So I think he kind of respects big 3s. And I guess he's okay with the top dog teaming up with all this competition and getting all the other top dogs, man. So, that's Tank. That's what Tank said. Phone lines are open, man. We give it 5 or 10 minutes before I shut the show down. Call in, man. I want to hear what everybody think about it only being monsters in this era. There's only one monster in Michael Jordan's era, which was Michael Jordan. But somehow LeBron figured out a way to play with all the monsters he was supposed to compete against. Man, it really would have been nice to see Melo in the East with Stoudemire in New York, Wade in the East with Bosh in Miami, and LeBron in the East with Cleveland and another star. Everybody get 2, it would have been Kobe, Gasol, LeBron and another star, Wade and Bosh, Melo and Stoudemire, and we find out who really the best is. But LeBron, Wade, and Bosh messed all that up for us, and they joined together, and they really thought they was doing something when they went and beat New York against Melo. Like, man, that ain't even fair. Like, y'all got 3 of them dudes. It's just Melo. He's the only. I mean, come on, man, for real, for real. But you know, I mean, I would have loved to see them just all team up with one guy, just 2 of them. Everybody got their co-star with them. You got your star and your co-star. Let's go see who the biggest star. You know what I mean? So, LeBron cheated us, man. He definitely cheated us, and y'all can't deny that. Y'all cannot deny that. Definitely cheated us. The Luka Vandross is hilarious, man. Speaking of Luka Vandross, what my Luka shirt, man? Hey, y'all go. Hey, when I make the Luka Vandross shirts, y'all want the Luka Vandross? The Luka Vandross shirt is gonna be on sale in the store on the channel. I'm gonna wear my Luka Vandross tomorrow on the show. Oh yeah, don't forget about Full Panel Friday tomorrow. We're gonna be here with the Full Panel tomorrow. Same time as always, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific time. So we'll see y'all on Friday. And look like we're not getting no phone calls, so I get to end the show right at 3 hours, and then we all can go get some sleep, man. So I appreciate all the super chats. I appreciate the phone calls. I appreciate all the comments. Last chance to hit the like button right now. Everybody hit the like button real quick on your way out. And then I'll catch y'all on the next episode, and I'll see y'all on Full Panel Friday. Oh, we got one phone call. Mississippi. Caller from Mississippi. What's up?
What's up, man? It's Nino, man.
Nino, what's good?
Hey, I'm enjoying the show. I just wanted to know. Give me the players from Jordan era, not the 80s now. We ain't counting that as MJ era, the 90s. That you gonna take over Kobe, T-Mac, or to do the skills of these players. Kobe, T-Mac, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Paul Pierce, Melo. Just them players. We'll start with them players.
I ain't taking nobody over Kobe other than Mike. So that's number one. T-Mac, in Michael Jordan's era, I'll probably take Pippen over T-Mac. I definitely take Pippen over T-Mac. The defense, the clutchness of him, man. What he learned being beside Michael Jordan. I can see myself taking Pippen over T-Mac for sure. There's an argument that you could probably take Bird or Dominique over T-Mac.
Not Bird. Not the 80s. Not Bird and Magic. I'm talking about the prime MJ era.
Bird.
Now, I know you're a basketball man.
Bird was in that era, but I mean I go with Dominique and Pippen. Dominique and Pippen is fine. Drexler as well. I'm definitely taking Olajuwon over any big man. I'm definitely taking Karl Malone over any big man. Who else? Who else you name? You named any point guard? Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant and Paul Pierce.
Kevin Durant. I probably ain't taking nobody out of Jordan's era over KD. I'll probably take KD. Paul Pierce. I mean, you probably could take Big Dog Glenn Robinson. You could take Jamal Mashburn.
Over Paul Pierce?
Yeah. They almost the same.
Mashburn was a man. Huh?
They almost the same player. Paul Pierce handled the ball a little bit more, but Big Dog Glenn Robinson and freaking Mashburn. Oh yeah. Cold. Steve Smith, cold.
Steve Smith was cold.
Yeah, for sure.
But what I'm getting at is I think you making a point of you made a good point on the skill of the big man. I think what we getting wrong is the game was played inside out.
Correct.
The Bulls manipulated the game. Everybody was playing inside out. You name Malone and Dream. You can't deny that. I'm not taking nobody over them guys. But the Bulls were playing a triangle offense and was playing the game through Mike, which was outside in. while everybody was still throwing the ball down there in the post. That's why Malone got ripped. He was trying to play back to the basket. MJ and them was playing triangle offense, moving around. We're gonna run through MJ. He gonna get everybody the shot. It's the same thing as you seeing now. It gets big, but it's different. It's more movement. I'll give you that. But they was playing outside in. Now not 3-point, but from mid range down. So that's where I think
so with that triangle though, there was so many different options, and the low post was one of them. The mid post was one of them, and the high post was one of them. And out of all those different spots where you can form the triangle, you had different actions that was like, you know, you had to all be on the same page to be able to run those different actions. There was a couple of back door, and it all was predicated on what they read the defense doing. If you overplayed, we're going back door, right? If you didn't overplay, it might be a dribble handoff, right? But I mean, it wasn't running through Michael Jordan. The triangle offense just ran. You know, it wasn't running through a person. It was just running, and then once the ball found MJ within the offense, he could score from anywhere. So it looked like it was running through MJ, but it really wasn't.
Nah, I see you a basketball man. So you trying to manipulate this subject right now. So you are correct, but at the same time, it ran through MJ. Now MJ was the focal point. That's why they didn't have two MJs in there. They had everything that complemented. That's why I don't see how Jerry Krause gets such a bad hand.
All right, who did it run through when MJ retired?
It ran through, but see, ran through Pippen.
No, it didn't. See what I'm saying? No, Pippen facilitated. No, it didn't.
Basketball man.
The triangle don't run through a person. Well, when it was in LA with Shaq, you could say it ran through Shaq because he was the low post present that was getting the post all the time, but it didn't run through MJ like that.
This is why I say you trying to manipulate it. See, you could run it. That's what I'm saying. It's a system. You could run the system without MJ.
Correct.
But when MJ was on the floor, MJ was the focal point. MJ made the offense. Okay, I get your point. You could run the offense. The offense was a system. You could run it without a star player. But when you put MJ in that system, which I don't deduct it from because he had a system. When you put MJ in that system, it ran through MJ. When the post comes, you see people running, which you know about the illegal defense. You couldn't just camp out you couldn't just not hold a man. But all the pieces complemented MJ. Pippen played like the LeBron role. And they always kept a shooter. And they weren't throwing the ball down there in the post to the big man. They was running through MJ.
That was going down to Luke Longley.
Yeah,
Luke Longley got his fair share of post ups.
They did do that. I can't deny that. It was a system. You can run it without MJ. But MJ was the center. What I'm trying to say, he was the centerpiece of the system.
I mean, you can say that, but they didn't. They actually made MJ run that system so he wouldn't be the focal point. Because when he was the focal point, when he was playing point guard and orchestrating everything, it was too predictable. So the system is for the other players. When you got a player as good as MJ or Kevin Durant or Kobe Bryant, they don't need a system. They can score anywhere on the court. So the system is actually the system actually is a leash for a player like MJ and Kobe because they want to come down and score 50 on you. Without the triangle, they would go nuts. The triangle actually calms them down. It's like Adderall. It's like Ritalin. It's like a Quaalude.
I agree with what you're saying. So that's why I don't understand the ring argument. Because, okay, I'm going to see if you agree with this. That's why I know you want to bring Bird and them into it, but he didn't dominate that era from a ring standpoint. But you would agree with this. When Jordan hit the stage, I will say 84, but I'm going to say for sure 85. He was still, even though he didn't win, even though he got swept, all that, he was the best player when he lost to the Pistons. MJ was the best player in the league. He had been the best player in the league. The team just wasn't better than the Celtics with all them players in the system. Would you agree with that, or you disagree with that? Because he didn't win the ring.
That MJ was the best player in the league when he lost to the Pistons.
Yeah, and the Celtics.
That was the. I don't know about the Celtics, but you to my what year did MJ win his first MVP? 88?
88, I think.
That's the year you're talking about? Was it? Well, I was.
I'm talking about 85. 80. When he come in the league, 84.
Whenever he won his MVP is when I would say MJ was the best player in the league.
So when he was scoring 60s and how was he the best player? He just didn't have the skill.
Because Bird
rings in the playoffs.
Because Bird and Magic was still the best player.
I think they had the best team.
His rookie year. So he got drafted 84, 85, right? Right. He obviously
after that year.
He was 21 years old. He won rookie of the year. He played all 82 games. He averaged 28 points as a rookie, correct?
Correct.
All right. So you think he was the best player that year? His rookie year?
I want to say yeah. I'm just saying no because he was a rookie. I want to say yeah. Now I ain't gonna lie to you. I want to say yeah.
You want to say yeah? You want to say his rookie year he was the best player in the league? You don't want to say that for real. Be honest. Tell the truth.
Who you taking over MJ?
I'm still saying Bird was the best player in 84, 85.
Why would you say? I'm saying what based on what? Not based on winning, right?
Based on
they had a way better team.
Based on the fact that he won MVP in 84, 85 and averaged 29 points. He won MVP.
Yeah. Oh, that's what. Okay, I give you that. Okay, I give you that.
And then 85, 86, Bird won MVP. Remember, he got 3 MVPs in a row. So 83, 84, 84, 85, 85, 86. He in his prime. He ain't even 30 yet. Best player in the league. 3 straight MVPs, and they winning rings. Bird's obviously the best player in the league at that time. Right?
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
This is what I was saying. Team, who did MJ have that the Bird? You gotta think about the team Bird had. Do that not count?
Yeah, it counts. I mean, if your team,
the players he played with,
yeah, if your team is better, then your success, you're gonna have more success. But I mean, you can't say a guy that's in his prime, that's past 25, that's almost 30. You can't tell me the experience that he got mentally and how to operate in the league.
The mental aspect.
Yeah,
okay.
It's not going to make you a better player than some young whippersnapper that's out there scoring 35 a game and 36 and 37 a game. Right now, I give it to you. By the time MJ, I mean, he averaged 37 and 86, 87. He was 23 years old, 37 points, and he finished second in the MVP votes. The next year he averaged 35 and got MVP. So 87, 88, I would say that's the year he was the best player in the league. 87, 88, his first MVP.
Who did he lose to? Did he lose to the Celtics that year or the Pistons? 88. Well,
87, 88. He probably lost to let's see.
It wasn't the Pistons. I think he lost Pistons 89, 90.
They lost to Detroit.
What I'm saying is Detroit played a good ball, but nobody on that Detroit team. Now IT get disrespected, so I'm not trying to disrespect IT. But MJ clearly the man in the league. There was nobody that could do it. He do it and was ever. You said it perfectly. I don't understand how you say this and you say it perfectly. Nobody had put together the fundamentals or just the skill, the swag, everything together with the athleticism. Now today's players not as athletic as MJ, but they more athletic than the players that he played against, and they bigger and stronger and faster. Now, any real basketball player will agree, is the movement and the team aspect of it. The movement, just one player isolation ball. That's that needs to change. But as far as overall talent and size perspective, not skill. Because back in the day, they was just as skilled. But the bigger, you like Shaq, okay, like Shaq. Shaq could move and pass. Everybody couldn't do that. You remember when Shaq could run and run the flow and all that and dribble? Yeah. Everybody couldn't do that. I don't know, man. I think it's harder. I think the LeBron era Kobe era was harder. There's no Kobe. There was no Kobe. There was no Kobe in the MJ era. Nothing close to Kobe in the MJ era.
Also, what you saying is that MJ was a god amongst men. You agree with Tank?
Yeah, I agree with that.
In the 80s?
In the 90s.
In the 90s?
In the 90s.
You don't think Dominque was on MJ level?
No. Tried either.
I mean, as far as being good and as athletic as MJ, Dominque was on his level for sure.
Yes. Yeah, as athletic.
But nobody, but he wasn't.
You is what I've been saying. You the only person I heard put this together. Nobody had put both two things together. Dominque was athletic, but he just didn't put the whole winning the game, the way to play the game. He couldn't really shoot. He didn't develop no MJ type of skill. And Bron is more skilled. I mean, Kobe's more skilled than Bron now, but Bron just a 6'8" locomotive. T-Mac more skilled than them guys.
Yeah.
You taking them guys over T-Mac?
No. I mean, some of them. So what it sounds like, and the 90s era for me starts in the 90s and of course in 2000. Right. MJ retired in 98. Right. So that, but that 90s had half of that era. I mean, you got Kobe, you got Vince, you got Ray Allen, you got Glenn Robinson, you got Glenn Rice, you got Steve Smith.
But I'm telling you, got Shaq. That's why I'm not.
Hold on, you got Shaq, you got that rep. So that 90s era is stacked. That 2000 era is stacked as well. But this is the difference between the 90s era and the 2000 era. The defense, and that's what you're not really factoring in, because we're throwing all these names out there on guys who's very good offensively. But nobody's talking about how hard it is to score based on how the game was played. The game and the rules started changing a little bit in the 2000s, and by 2010, it's already gone. It's a wide open Harlem Globetrotter game out there. Shoot threes, run up and down the court. Like Bobby Hurley was one of the best point guards in college. He didn't last 2 seconds in the NBA because of physicality in the 90s. But the same point guard as Bobby Hurley came in as Steve Nash and won 2 straight MVPs because they opened the game up. Like seriously.
I can't deny that.
Like seriously, Bobby Hurley was supposed to be Steve Nash and couldn't be because he was getting his ass whooped. Vlade Divac was supposed to be Jokic, but couldn't be because he was getting his ass whooped. Physicality, big men smacking you, like intimidating you, talking trash. Them Europeans didn't stand a chance in the 90s. They didn't stand a chance. So
I agree with that.
We can throw all the names out there all we want, but when somebody be like, "Oh, LeBron had to play against Kevin Durant," was Kevin Durant stopping LeBron and clotheslining him? No. All he was doing is scoring another point. They don't intimidate you. Like if I come down here, I can get any basket I want to, and you can't stop me from getting to the hole. And then you come down and hit a jump shot in my face. That's not intimidating me. I'm still gonna get my 30. But if I'm coming down there and Charles Oakley is beating me down every time I come to the hole, every time I try to run off a screen, it's a fight. Like Reggie Miller had to run through fights. Rip Hamilton had to run through war to get open. Steph Curry don't have to do that. So it's not the name, it's not the names in the era. It's how the game was played in the era. In the 90s, the game was played way tougher, way more physical, and it was a serious grown man's basketball game. That's more tougher. Not.
You don't think the game was like that in the teens though? I mean, in the 2000s. I think
The early 2000s.
The early 2000s. That's the
early
Kobe
2000s.
era.
Yeah, Kobe's era. Yeah, the 90s and the early 2000s are the golden age of NBA basketball.
Please. But I now see, that's what I'm saying. Bron would have been better off playing against them guys. He would have been better off playing against the Detroits and the
No, he wouldn't have.
and all them guys.
No, he wouldn't have. Did you see what Dallas? Did you see what Dallas did to him when he averaged 17 points in the finals?
Well, let me see. Okay, let's see. Let me see what you see. You got good basketball. What did you see? What did you see?
I seen them build a wall and put a 7-foot Tyson Chandler at the rim waiting on him, and they backed off of him 6 feet and said, "You either go shoot this jump shot or this three. We're going under all your screens. We know you want to run high screen roll. We go under all your screens, and we're going to either give you a jump shot mid range, which you don't like taking, or we're going to usher you to the rim where Tyson Chandler is going to be waiting on you to challenge the shot. And we're not doubling off your shooters, so that's not happening." So
that's a perfect listen. That is the perfect analogy of what happened. Now, this is why I say the Miami Heat team. So if you want to go on names, and I've been saying, and I was saying this when they formed this team. I said, if you want to go on names, you call this a super team. This is the most overrated team ever assembled. Now the next year when they went and brought them shooters in, that made way more sense. But you had Anthony, what's the name? Joel Anthony down there. LeBron was playing the 3. Chris Bosh wasn't the shooter then, playing the 4. D-Wade playing the 2. And I think Thomas was still out there. So you got one maybe shooter out there. That's exactly what they did to Bron. Now, this is where what you said about the system and the movement come into play. If you know the next year, Bron posted up a little bit when he played KD now. He worked on it, and they had spread it out, had shooters. I don't think, and I'm gonna admit it, I don't know if the coach, Bron or D-Wade knew what to do because Bron never played a zone. It's like a college zone. Because high school, if you the man in high school, a zone ain't gonna bother you. Basically, what the Dallas did was just what you said: build a wall, play a little zone, allow Bron to shoot the 3-point. That wasn't the game back then when the Detroit Pistons. It was man on man. You can drive in and get hard fouls. Dallas come through. Dallas was shooting 3 like crazy. Never before. Bringing out the paint.
But the paint was crowded with a power forward and a center that didn't leave. So the driving lane that LeBron needs, he don't have it in the 90s. Period. Nobody in the 90s played with 5 men standing at the 3-point line running a high screen roll with a wide open paint. LeBron would have never seen a wide open paint in the 90s unless it was a fast break.
This the point I was trying to make about the Bulls.
You know another thing that LeBron would have never seen in the 90s?
What's that?
Point guard duties. In the 90s, they would have made that boy play power forward.
Magic played point though.
No, he wouldn't have. They wouldn't have done it.
Point guard.
Magic played point guard, but Magic played point guard his whole college and in high school. LeBron didn't. So when he came in the league and they sing 6'8", you automatically a small forward. And we're gonna have another point guard handling the ball. We don't play it in the 90s. Same thing with 7-footers. These 7-footers like Jokic out here dribbling the ball up court and shooting threes and stuff like that.
I can't argue that.
A coach would have put him on the bench for shooting that 3 and dribbling that ball up court.
I can't argue that. But I think that helps. I think that helps Bron in the era of with that type of ball, with his body and what he do fast.
You got to shoot that jump shot. You got to shoot that jump shot. Everybody that played on the wing was capable of hitting that jump shot, or you won't be playing on the wing. Len Bias could hit. Len Bias could hit that jump shot, and Len Bias was 6'8", 230, 240, just like LeBron. He could hit the jump shot. Dominque could hit it. Mashburn could hit it. Reggie Lewis could hit it. Patrick, you got to be able to hit that jump shot. That's why Bruce Bowen was in and out of the league so much until he developed the 3-point shot. Like LeBron was not about to get away with just dribbling and bum rushing the rim in the 90s. It wasn't gonna happen.
You a basketball man. You seen Bron rookie year now. He was shooting the mid. I don't know why he stopped. He could have developed them. He could have developed. I feel like I can't speak for I say. He had a decent looking mid range stroke. I don't know why I don't know what
the shoulders got too big. You remember when Chris Webber came in the league and he kept dislocating his shoulders until he had surgery? And then he started lifting, and you see how big his shoulders got. You see how Chris Webber shoot his free throws? That man look like Jax from Street Fighter or from Mortal Kombat. His shoulders look robotic. LeBron's shoulders, LeBron's shoulders got too big with that new juice he was taking. Shoulders is out of control, and he can't shoot no more.
Here we go.
The shoulders are too big.
Karl Malone had a stroke, but he the only one I seen with them shoulders. They can still shoot that ball.
Yeah, that's true. He had a soft touch, which is why I don't understand why LeBron ain't got it.
I think Bron picked I think he was either picked working out is addictive. So I think he just picked that route. Like, this one I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be this type of guy. But then he played with the analytics team, so I can't just argue that you're wrong on that. But to me, I'd rather play against them guys in that ball. If Bron is a bully ball player, 2 points, all that. You rather play that than these 3-point shooting year-old big man. That's it, rough.
Yeah, I get it.
Game is rough.
I get it, but the coach didn't exist in the 90s that was gonna let him do it. Like, seriously, like players had more ability than they was able to showcase in the 90s because the coaches was like, you're not doing that. Like Shaq used to try to go coast to coast dribbling. The coaches would get infuriated and tell him not to do it anymore. And when he got serious about winning, he stopped doing it. Right? You know, big man shooting threes, they had to stop doing it. Like, coaches did not like that stuff, man. Get your big 7-foot butt in the post. Yeah, that's what they was doing. So that the coach didn't exist that was going to allow LeBron to do that, man. That's just my thoughts on it. But look, man, let me get out this phone, man, and let y'all get y'all time back, man. I'll catch y'all tomorrow on the full panel, man.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate it.
All right. Yep. All right, y'all. Thanks for hanging out with me, man. I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Peace.